love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted. Stay humble. I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted. Stay humble.
Yes. A late one. I thought like we've done it before, innit? So why not again, man? So why not again? It's for that life without Liverpool is pretty tough. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. I don't know if you see it.
Yeah.
How you been, man? How you been? It's been a while.
All right, man. Apart from suffering a little bit after, obviously, the cup final and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
Is that the last time we did a stream, a panel stream with everybody, like with you?
Yes,
wasn't
it was. Yeah, it was. It was his last time. I think we're supposed to do something after, but we didn't get to do it. Yeah, that's the last.
That would be in it, man. I say I'm gonna do something. That's how it is, man. I'm not consistent enough. I wish.
No, but you got obviously you got like other stuff going on, so it's literally understandable. Do you know what I mean? It's literally understandable that you could say one day, yes, I'm going to do that because the optics seem fine, and something comes up. Do you know what I mean? Life happens. You know what I mean? So
appreciate that, man.
It's all good still, but yeah, it's just being sort of like watching a lot of these other content creators and that, seeing how they are.
You just read my mind, you know what I mean? You just read my mind. What do you think about this stuff? Like about YouTube? That's what I want to talk about as well with you today. Like, is it like exhausting? Is it something? Is it fair? That's what I want to ask you about YouTube, Unks. Before you go on, obviously, like, is it fair with everybody? Does YouTube push people out there that's deservedly? What is the problem in YouTube? I would like to ask. I've been in it for a long time. You know what I mean? I asked you a simple. I asked you a question before about it. You know, just, how I feel about it. I think sometimes it's so draining. You think like. But then again, I look at myself and I think to myself, do I do enough? I don't think I do enough. You know what I mean? Because if I want it badly, I should be doing it every single day. You know what I mean? But what I want to ask you is, even, you know, like, with that me, I'm just asking you, is it fair with people, YouTube, or is it not?
I don't think so, because you see what it is in the day. I don't even think it comes down to sort of like the amount of time you spend on YouTube. You know what I mean? Like doing videos after videos after videos. I've seen people in the day that sort of like, you know, they're not on it as much. Do you know what I mean? But yet, and then when they are on it, it's just like they got so much views coming from from everywhere. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and I just feel that in the day sort of like it's not down. I feel that in the day, I mean, they've got their favorites. They've got the favorites who they want to put out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is the impression I get, because you know, I do my stuff and you know, I do it for love, for love.
You do a lot of work, man. I've always said to you, I always champion you. You deserve more, mate. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I struggle sometimes. Sometimes it bubbles between sort of like 0 to 4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like today, as I was telling you today, and I did on a load of reaction videos on sort of like this channel and that channel. Do you know what I mean? You know, and at one time I was surprised in the day that sort of like that I had over 20 odd people watching.
Yeah.
That may not seem a lot to other people.
Yeah.
That obviously in the hundreds and 200, they may not seem a lot. But for a person like myself, and that doesn't get a lot of viewing time, do you know what I mean? You know, no matter what I do, I don't get a lot of viewing time.
Yeah.
When I'm like, you know, if I'm hitting like 20 or over 20 in a day, that means a lot. I'm like, wow, do you know what I mean? You know, and it was very consistent today. That's what I found out. But like,
that's not bad.
I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair at all.
What do you think you need to do, Unks? Like, to do you have to be over dramatic? What is the thing that can, you know, get people hooked onto channels? You know what I mean? What, like, if you look at people that you see on YouTube, is like you have to be over dramatic, saying silly words, saying, you know, being funny and all that stuff. It's never about the football talk, is it? Really, if you think about it,
no.
It's more about what this guy is. It's like an acting environment. You know what I mean? Like acting, you have to act in a certain way. Because, you know, when you grew up, it was all about, you know, us talking about the football. We talk about individual players, how much we love it and all that stuff. We watch every football around the world. That's what it was all about, you know what I mean? Yeah. But to me, the reason I think people at our age don't succeed because we don't be, you know, with the current people, we're too different, you know what I mean? We're more knowledgeable than them, don't get me wrong. But we don't really connect with them. That's why, you know, the greatest comedians in the world are the people our age, or, you know, your age, or something along those lines. The modern day comedians are not really funny, you know what I mean? Because their humor is different to us, if you know what I mean. So we're still talking about the Eddie Murphys, you know, Dave Chappelle, all these guys, because, you know, they're the girls, because we understand them. And I don't think these youngsters understand like what we say. Most probably that's what it is, Uncle. So I wouldn't worry about that. I honestly, sometimes I take a seat back and I think to myself, maybe I gotta like just drop out of it. I told you that the other day. Maybe I got and just do me. You know what I mean? And I don't want to cause an offense to anybody, but to me, like, this politics around YouTube is really, really annoying, and it's not enough for everybody. So if you take yourself out of this group, maybe you'll succeed more in life, because you will find a new, you know, avenue, new people, then, you know, what's around this environment that we're in, because it's not enough for everybody. Let's just put it that way. No matter what you do.
I do get the feeling, and they sort of like, you know, in order to be, you know, to get further in this YouTube world, and you know, and to get recognized, I do feel that people tend to lose themselves.
Yes, they do.
I mean? They tend to start off like being this guy, this really nice guy, and they can have a conversation with, and so on, so on, so on.
Yeah.
And then as it goes along, they think to themselves, well, nah, that's not enough. I've got to be like this now.
Yeah.
And it's like, when you see a lot of these people today, I mean, I was watching something today, and I thought to myself, really? You know what I mean? Really? Is this what you're throwing out? Do you understand what I'm getting at? You know what I mean? It's like they have to be sort of like different. They have to be sort of like, I hate to say it and everything that, right?
No, we're here to be honest in it.
I can say it because I'm not mentioning any names per se. You know what I mean? But it's almost like you have to be fraudulent.
Yeah,
fraudulent. You have to like trick the masses into them thinking that you're this kind of person and you're always going to say outlandish things things. So what happens then is like the viewers are just waiting for sort of like the next outlandish thing you're gonna say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't care if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
They don't care. It's just that it's outlandish. Do you understand what I'm getting at?
100%, I understand.
You know?
I mean,
and
that's what I get. You know, to me, all this stuff is new to me. And I mean, I've come into this environment like in 2019. Majority of the people that I actually done streams with, like that back in the day, they moved up high. You know what I mean? They moved up to another level. Some people quit. You know what I mean? I don't see them on YouTube anymore because the pressure is too much. Sometimes the pressure is demanding sometimes, and it's all about mental health, innit? It affects your mental health sometimes, and that's what people don't understand. So, you know, like, I've always said that, like, you know, your calmness and other people's calmness, the ones who don't get the exposure as you deserve to get, are going to outlast these other people that's acting, because when acting disappears, what are you going to do next? You're going to be too predictable and boring, aren't you, really? If you think about it. And people are going to look for that next thing, maybe just speaking about football and things like that, like, as we all do. They might see it as not as entertaining now, but in the long term, those kind of people are the ones who outlast other people, because they just speak about, you know, football and, you know, general things. That's what they do, you know what I mean? And they're not faking it. It's always, you know, honest opinions and enjoyment. That's what we're here for. I enjoy this. That's why I do it. I've never soured. I buy equipment for me and myself still, even though I don't really get that many views as much as everybody else that I used to work with in the past either. So it's not the end of the world for me, man. You know what I mean? I just get on with it. My life is good. Your life is good. You're healthy. You know, that's what the most important thing outside here, you know what I mean, for us and all that stuff. It's not chasing, you know, glory. It's about, you know, just doing this as a hobby to continue life, you know what I mean? Because sometimes when you play the sport and you can't do it anymore, and you can't even do anything around the sport anymore, the next best thing is about speaking about it as now,
speaking about it, giving you experience
and enjoying it. That's what it's all about. I mean, we don't come over here cussing people out, or, you know, doing a stream about other people. Even if people talk about you don't come over here and say anything about it. Like you just said about a few minutes ago, sorry, about you know, a few things, but you don't mention names because you're not that type of person. But in the other way,
No, I'm not going to gas up anybody.
they will mention your name. They will try to gaslight you and all that stuff, and for no reason whatsoever. That's how it is, bro. That's how it is in this environment. And I've always said that I just don't want to get involved in politics. That's the whole point. Come on here. I mean,
me neither.
I refuse to get into people's channels. I just don't want to be part of a group or a gang or anything like that because that's past. You know, that's past my life. I don't want to do anything like that. But I enjoy it, man. To be honest,
do you know what it is in the day? Like what it is with me. There's very few channels that I would go on. And if I do go on a channel, anybody's channel, you got to know. Everybody's got to know this person's a good bloke. Yeah. This person's straight up. I won't go on anybody's channel like I did. Obviously, you know, a good few years back, I was going on certain people's channel and they can be disrespectful. Do you know what I mean? So then I thought to myself, well, look, why am I sort of like begging them airspace? I might as well just sort of like do my own thing. And if I do come across people that are legit and real and everything, yes, I will go on their channel. But you see what it is with these people, they just want to literally say the most outlandish things, do you know what I mean? And just like try and get fame that way. Do you know what I mean? That's why I do the reaction shows. Yeah. I do reaction shows and now I've really sort of like taken that on now because what it is, you're gonna expose the hypocrisy. Yeah. You can expose the fakeness. Do you know what I mean? You know? And people know who to look out for. Do you know what I mean? You know, you got some people that they just like.
You don't need to worry, mate. You don't need to worry.
Nah, you just, you know, like because I just like
you can today, you'll be fine, mate. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, you're yourself. That's what all you got to worry about. Forget about, you know, the fame and all that stuff. You know what I mean? Like people, one becomes two becomes three. You know,
washing my face, bro.
That's how it is, bro.
Yeah, we're just washing our face, aren't we? We're just washing our face, bro.
That's it, mate. That's what it's all about. I mean, I'm not worried about that, man. Because you know, at the end of the day, like I said, we're healthy. Life is good. That's all we need, man, in life. We don't need all this exposure to the world. We got to maintain it. You got to maintain it, and it's going to be tough afterwards. But it is what it is. Let me just read. Of course, Norman Abdi's here. Big up Abdi, brother, bro, and Norm, brother. Big up Norm, man. Uncle Rose, of course. Yes.
Up, oh, yeah, I like that.
I haven't seen Norm for a while. I hope you're okay, Norm, man. I hope life is good to you, mate. I hope life is good to you, man. Because you're a good guy, man. I met him outside Anfield. I can't still believe it still that day.
Oh, you did, didn't you? Yeah.
I was walking past him and he recognized me. A few people actually recognized me. I didn't even know they knew me. They just stopped me outside Anfield. It was weird. Damn. And then Norm, like, he said to me, I'm Ann. I said, what? Who's Ann? Norm. Yeah. Oh, okay. I was walking past him. I know I keep mentioning it, Norm, but it was good to see you. Honestly, it's good to see you in person, brother. It was brilliant, man. Just hoping for players to come back not injured. I think there's already a couple of injured, isn't it? With Konate and
Konate's injured.
Alisson.
Is Alisson injured?
I think he got a concussion, but it should be all right. And Gravenberch as well, don't forget as well. But as you can continue what you're saying, Uncle, like in regards to YouTube, you know.
No, I mean, listen, in day, right? I just intend to make it the space at the day that sort of like I can enjoy myself and I can sort of like, you know, speak about football and you know, literally at the day sort of like do my reaction videos to show people how silly some people are. Do you know what I mean? Whether they're talking about their club or they're talking about my club, show them how silly they are sometimes. Do you know what I mean? You know, because some of them out there can be very silly. I mean, it's like today I did a video and I will repost it again in the group chat and whatever. And it was like, you know, had this guy in the day, right? You know, again, not going to mention the name, but he's going on like, you know, like Liverpool has just hit the top,
big time.
You know what I mean? Literally just hit the top and everything. That right? You know, I'm coming to the top side. Then, and he's also saying as well, where it goes, trying to say that Liverpool always regularly finish at the top four or just get top four. I'm just like, what are you talking about, bro? Do you know what I mean? What are you talking about? See, this is what I like to do. Expose at the day the idiocracy of some people and right? And show people and people are just gonna say things for the sake of saying things. You know what I mean? But again, this is what YouTube's like sometimes.
Yeah.
They like people that come out with things like that. Do you know what I mean? You know, one person I said they like people like, yes, say Ty from AFC TV. They like people like, because what it isn't, they can not laugh with them. You know what I mean? Right? They can actually laugh at them. So they like people like that. Do you know what I mean? But so I suppose those little bits and everything. But you know, if you ask me at the end of the day, do I think YouTube is fair? No, I don't. I'm afraid not.
It's never fair, Unks. Like no matter what we do, like it's not going to be fair. It's just like everything in life, isn't it? Yeah. We all want to be, you know, rich and, you know, having all that money in life, but we're not going to get there. You know what I mean? But as we said, you got to be different in order for you to be noticed. But it's okay. As I always say, you'll get more in life than the other ones if you just keep like being yourself. To be fair, Unks, and I've got no doubt about that, mate.
Oh yeah. We do, bro. We do.
We love it, man. We love it. You know about the Patrick thing, innit? We've been promoting, man. He's obviously, we're trying to get him to the best hospital possible. It's still going, apparently. So people, drop to Patrick and please, you know, give him the donation that he deserves.
Yeah,
it's sad, isn't it, bro?
It's a very sad thing. I mean,
I'll put it up.
Excuse me, it kind of took me back, because I think what it is at the day, I said it took me back, kind of knocked me back, because I think you mentioned to me a while ago that, you know, when he went through his first bout of, you know, of his illness, and I'm not gonna gas out his illness still, because I don't think it's my place to say what illness he's got. Do you know what I mean? That's just me. You know what I mean? Yeah, but like when he first told me,
like the way the people pulled together for him, bro. Like, you know,
I loved it. I loved it. It was so heartwarming. But I'm just saying that you know, when the first time he told me about it, you know, I was, you know, he said, yeah, that's right. But and then obviously when he told me the other day, and it kind of knocked me back. You know what I mean? Because he's such a nice guy. I've had him on my channel once or twice. Do you know what I mean? And the two times I had him on my channel, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, he's a bit cheeky, and he's a bit cheeky, and he likes that. He likes little jabs and all that. But he's generally a nice guy. You know what I mean? If he says he's gonna come on your channel, he's gonna be in the channel. Yeah, he's gonna be in channel. That's one thing about Patrick. If he makes a promise to you, he's there. Do you know what I mean?
He's always been the same since I've known him a long time ago, man.
So listen, Dave, the way that everybody pulled together for him, I mean, I obviously put something on my channel as well. Yeah, the way that everybody pulled together against him for him was heartwarming. It was just like, this is what it's all about. Because at the end of the day, we're a footballing community. Yeah. No matter what, you know, we might not get on with that man, we might not get on with that next man in the neighborhood because they support that team, or you know, I mean, support another team. Yeah, but what you look at, we're all a footballing community, and that's what it's all about. Do you know what I mean? And the way that people came out for him, you know, Coppish, Never Foul, yourself, myself, and other people, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. Do you know what I mean? And I hope, you know, by the grace of God,
that's what we're hoping, mate.
He gets the treatment that he needs. He gets the treatment that he needs, and you know, he makes a full recovery. Lovely guy, man. Lovely guy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've known him for a long, long time. Man. We used to have a laugh on LRFC back in the day with him. Patrick, he's one of the reasons I actually came back as well. You know what I mean? Some people helped me out when I came back and all that stuff. He said to me, "Come back, man. I'll miss those shows I used to do with you, man." It was genuine shows. Like it was fun. Him being a City fan, sometimes we had like a Man United fan and, you know, Arsenal fans, and we used to like do a lot on this channel back in the day, and it was very, very much entertaining. Yeah, and you know, as you guys can see, is on there. The link, please go on. Let's get him the best doctors. Forget about Turkey. Let him go to, you know, America or Germany, somewhere like there. Yeah, and get the best treatment possible, because, you know. Right. I said to him the other day, like, he's thanking people on Twitter. I said, you don't need to thank people, my friend. When it concerns life, life is more important, and it shouldn't be apologetic, and it shouldn't be too proud to ask for help. In life. So it doesn't matter who it is, guys. Like if they need help, something that's gonna affect their life. Do as much as you can. It doesn't matter how much it is, as long as you're putting something towards them, it goes up. Don't forget that, guys. The more avenues you got, the more people you got around you, the more it goes up. If you know what I mean. Like it could be me and Uncle Ross, it could be someone else, it could be someone. It goes around, and people talk, and it goes around, and it's helping him big time, man. Like he's on the road to 30,000 now. So let's get him there, man. And if you read about actually the illness, is a heartbreaking thing as well. It really, I was on tears the other day when I came on here. Like I wasn't even meant to be on, but I came on for him. And emotionally, it got me choked up, because that's my friend, innit? At the end of the day, man. And this YouTube things together back in the day. So yeah, man. Life, you should not muck about with it, guys. If you need help, don't ever be too proud to ask for it, because if you don't ask, you're gonna fade away. That's not good. We want you to stay alive. That's what we want everybody to be, like everybody to stay alive, and that's what's important for Patrick and his family as well, and his kids. So that's what it's all about, guys. The link is right there. I'm gonna put it in the description as well. So please, if you're watching this back, get on the link and help Patrick out.
Yeah, man, get on it, man. Get on it. You got no excuse, man. You got no excuse. Get on it.
Yeah, man. Yes, Unks. About the football. What are you thinking of, man? What are you thinking of? Like after that Newcastle game, I think a lot of Liverpool fans gave up, man. They just couldn't do it anymore. They said enough is enough. I can't watch this shit anymore.
I think they was frustrated more than anything. I was a mixture between frustrated and angry. Do you know what I mean? Because like what made me angry was towards the end of the game, when he, obviously 75 minutes, when he's just thrown on everybody. And then if you look closely in there, you had Virgil van Dijk, sort of like playing up front like a striker. It's just like you had no clue, do you know what I mean, on what you was doing. And I thought that kind of performance from a head coach wasn't befitting of Liverpool Football Club.
Yeah,
it should never happen in the day, right? I think what he should have done in the day, then the whole world probably would have screamed out and told you this. There's two formations you could have played. You could either play 3 at the back, or you could just play 4-4-2.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Make it hard for them. But what they did at the day is it's like it kind of made it easy for them, easy for Newcastle to sort of like play against us. And one of the things that really pissed me off, we're just getting barged on the floor. We're just literally getting buoyed off. All around the pitch. Do you know what I mean? So what it is with certain people, certain fans, a lot of fans at the day, I probably was in a bracket as well, right? Is that we're now thinking that wow, we've gone out of 2 cups in a week in that, right? Yeah. What if he has the same performance at the day in the last games running in? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when people got frustrated, thinking that we can lose everything.
Yeah,
we can literally lose everything. So I think it's more of a frustration and more of like a fear as well of like losing everything, like from like being in a prime position, and to losing everything. Do you know what I mean? And then and I know, nobody ever looks at the owners. They always look at the head coach, because
but the owners are very smart. They're very intelligent, my friend.
Of course,
I've always said that about them. You can't fool a lot of people. You can't fool people like me. I've been watching Liverpool all my life, so I know what I see and what I know about the ownership as well. Even though the Moore family owned us for a long, long time, they gave us those 2 Cowboys. Don't forget that was unforgivable as well. But at least the Moore family, when they were involved in Liverpool, they were spending money. Even though we didn't have the success when they took full ownership compared to when they had, shareholders and they were part owners. At least they spent money. You know what I mean? But this is piss, man. What we see right now. I mean, it's like you're in a team that it just thinks not like the bottom teams of the Premier League. That's how we think nowadays. We don't really think like a top team anymore. And this is what they're taking away, chopping, slowly taking it away from us. And people don't see that. People don't see that. They think like everything is hunky, rosy and all this stuff. It ain't, man. It ain't that. It ain't all that. I mean, Liverpool should be an elite club. It should be a part of the biggest teams in world football. But we're not acting like it. That's the problem. If we made a few signings in the summer or January, maybe we wouldn't be in this issue. Think about it that way. I mean, the players are fatigued. The players can't do what they used to anymore. We're getting bullied in games, guys. Like absolutely bullied in games.
Man.
And people are sitting here saying like it's okay, we're still going to win the league. But we could have won the Champions League. I mean, this kind of, you look at the Champions League this season, it ain't as strong as what it used to be. So when it's not as strong as it used to be, you take advantage of things like that. You know what I'm saying? When you have the world of football in your hand, you take advantage of it. Of course, it might not come back in the second time, because second time you're expecting teams to strengthen and get better at the same time as well. But I don't think people look into that, man. We're just, just sitting back. Oh, we're going to win the Premier League and that is it. But I wish we could have sat with the League Cup and the Premier League this season. You know what I mean? But
like a double or something like that. Like a double or even a treble. But the thing is about it, this is what I always say: when teams go into league, they don't go in there just to win one trophy. No matter what it is, they're going there to win as much trophies as they can. Exactly. Right? It may not work out that way, but that's their intentions of doing it. It's their intentions. Exactly. So this talk about goes, we've still got the league in the league, right? To me, and I find that like a defeatist mentality. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It's kind of defeatist mentality. It's like saying, well, look, at the end of the day that you ain't played good enough in these other games, and we're gonna put all eggs in one basket in the league now. You know what I mean? And that at the end of the day can still go wrong. It can still go wrong. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying it's going to. Yeah. But it can go wrong.
Like imagine like what I said, having all those trophies in your hands at the end of the season. Imagine like where you could be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And these things might not come around the season after. Please understand what I'm trying to say to you guys. Like teams strengthen, teams get better. You know what I mean? It's going to be more difficult next season than it is this season. That's what you got to look at. And we're going to have to bide our time again, wait till the Champions League gets weaker again for us to, win it again. And it shouldn't be like that, man. It shouldn't be like that. When you got things going for you, you take both hands. You don't muck about. And I wish we'd made signings, and I've been asking for it for a long time, but we didn't. You know what I mean?
But you know what it is, though. You know what it is, Arnie Scott's got to hold some blame, right? Because Arnie Scott would have been the first one to know right, that we wasn't going to make any signings, yeah? And if we was going to make a signing, it was only going to be one, you know what I mean? Which they did, and they in Chiesa, because from what I'm hearing, right, with Mamadashvili, is that we haven't paid for him yet.
I looked at the Wikipedia thing. Hopefully, people could laugh about it, but I haven't seen us pay for anything. You know what I mean?
We haven't paid for him. No cash is transferred. So really and truly, you can put it down to the fact that we've only bought one player. Only one player, right? So he knows the state of the squad. Because remember at the day, he said at the day, out of his own mouth at the day, right? When I said about making signings and that, right? He said, I'm going to have to assess the squad first,
Yeah, he did say that, I remember.
Yeah, assess the squad first to see if we do need any signings, and they give me time to assess the squad. We gave him that time, and he came back and said it today, right? Said, we don't need anybody. You know what I mean? We don't need anybody. Right, so if you say that now, right, I'm expecting you at the day to say, right, number one, the shortage in our squad, right? Rotate the squad, utilize that squad. And we could have utilized that squad a lot more better than what he has. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Because what he's done at the day is this, right? He has played the same 11 in the day in game in and game out. He played the same 11 against PSG, right?
Even Southampton, my friend. Yeah.
Southampton, PSG, and then Newcastle. No wonder they beat us. Do you understand what I'm saying? And as well, what a lot of people don't realise with Arnie Slot, right? He said it out of his own mouth, out his own mouth again, because I'm only quoting things of what he said. I will only quote things of what he said in the day, so nobody can hold me to task and say I'm putting words in a man's mouth. He said that his own mouth, right, that he's used to working with a 15 or 16-man squad. That is not good enough for the Premiership, my friend. That is not good enough for the English game.
Yeah.
It is not good enough. You know what I mean? You have to be used to working with a 23-man squad and above.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
You need players in every position. You need 2 players. You know what I mean? And if you don't have that, you've got a big problem. You know what I mean? So
exactly. But he's used to working with a 15 or 16-man squad. Yeah. So that means at the day, right? Yeah, that you're not going to get much rotation from him. Number two, right? Number 2. This is probably one of the biggest points, yeah, that we as a collective have to make, yeah. Arnie Slot, yeah. If Arnie Slot is only used to working with a 15 and 16-man squad, yeah. And then you got Richard Hughes in there, right? That hasn't done anything. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
I don't know why he's there at the moment.
He's just been hidden. They're about to send a search party out for him, right?
He's on a holiday somewhere, mate. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know, he's taken 2 holidays so far since he's been in there, right? He's taken 2 holidays and he's done nothing, yeah? So you got Richard who's just done nothing, right? You got like Arnie Stott's used to working with a 15, 16-man squad. Then you got Gary Birchlet and that red shit and their inexperience and that, right?
Yeah.
How can we then trust them to bring in the right ammunition for the club?
Yeah.
To make it complete.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for them in the summer, my friend, because if there's no transfers not coming through the door, then there's no use for them, is there? Why are you getting paid? I mean, why are we paying you? I mean, why are you at our football club? You might, get some, at least Smack guy, at least sign players. You know what I mean? Even, not even been in the country. He negotiated all those players like Gravenberch, Soboslai, and Endo and that. But what have these guys done? Just what? Chiesa, who doesn't even play? I don't even think the manager even likes him because he doesn't even play him anyway. You know what I mean? So
exactly. And look what he did when he came on the other day against Newcastle. He's phenomenal. He opened up the game.
He's a talent, Unks. He's a talent. Let me just read the comments, man. I don't read these guys. Well, I think it needs. I think it needs to be honest, fun, and good debate. That is why I come on here. 12 man, Frank and Rods. Yes, Norm. Big up, brother.
Big up, Norm, man. Big up.
Always. Listen, it's entertaining. Like, even like we didn't promote this, we just come on like late night, and you guys are here supporting us. I love that, really love that. I was cutting the grass in my garden today and thinking about 2002 when we should have got Anelka. Anelka was Anelka, man, underrated, mate.
Do you remember when he was at our club on loan?
Yeah.
Do you remember he was on loan at our club in that day? And started to do it on madness.
You want to sign him? I mean,
he didn't sign it. And who did he sign in the end? Who did he sign?
Diouf and
LF2.
Bloody joke.
LF2 and son of Diao.
I mean, Damien Duff, don't forget, and Lee Bowyer.
Yeah, I didn't want him.
Lee Bowyer was meant to come to Liverpool, but he decided not to. I mean, he was already on the road.
I was glad that happened, and I didn't want him on the club. He's a racist.
His career went downhill from Leeds, didn't it? After that. LFC life to us all, even in moment we are doing normal day things. 100%. It's LFC life, man. We love our football club at the end of the day, brother. But yeah, Damien Duff, I really liked him.
He was good.
He went to Chelsea, didn't he, from Blackburn? That's another win.
Then he was just gone from then, and he was just like ruined his career.
Big up, Abdul, brother. Big up, man. Yeah, so listen, at the end of the day, Unks, we still got something to fight for. It's better than nothing. And that's what I said. That's why I'm not like in the corner of being negative or anything like that. If you win the league at the end of the season, it's a big thing, in it. It's something that's gonna take you out of that Man United talk all the time into Liverpool talk. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the day like we pick up that Premier League and we all party together and enjoy it, innit? That's what it's all about. You know what I mean? We're no longer gonna be talking about Man United anymore. You know what I mean? Like, if I ain't gonna be, I'm even gonna avoid streams with Man United fans. So I'm gonna say, listen, I'm above you, man. Leave me alone. All these years they've been telling us they're above us. You know what I mean?
You man are peasants, man.
You're peasants, man.
Yeah. Go fetch my water.
Norm says to me, it better that it's a quality 2000 plus channel. Yeah, and rather than a 500,000 sub channel, which go overboard on things just for clicks. Yeah, these 2 million,
You're
3
right.
million, we know what they do, bro. It's all about the money in it. It's all about the money, production, and all that stuff. That's what they want to do. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. It's there. It's their life. Like I said, things don't last in life. Things don't last. And I mean, it's just how you reinvent yourself. If you don't reinvent yourself properly, people lose interest and they go somewhere else. That's how it is. Big up, Dara, man. Big up, brother. He was on the channel the other day. Great chat me and him had. You know what I mean? We disagreed, but we came to a common ground afterwards. Great chat. I loved it. Loved it. Listen, I don't. Listen. If people want to say something different to me, I don't want like force them to be on my side. I love people who hold to their words. You know what I mean, and they stick with what they say. You know what I mean.
Yeah, it's like a good debate, a good healthy debate, really, isn't
it? Yeah. Be myself. That is why we are here. Yeah. Be yourself, man. That's what it's all about, Norm. That's what it's all about, brother. Let me see who else is in. I'm gonna read all your comments, man. Don't worry, guys. Victor, big up, Victor, man. It's been a while, bro. I hope everything's okay with you and family. Let me read out what he's saying. He's saying we need FSG at ASAP. I think it's their club, bro. You know what I mean? It's their club. It's gonna be impossible to remove these kind of people, man. I mean, I think we've got. I don't know about your uncle, what's here. Normally, you can't mess around with Americans. We must have the weakest owners ever. The way Real Madrid piss us about, and the likes of Chelsea and all these other clubs. I'm thinking to myself, I thought Americans were powerful, but these guys are the weakest. We lose every battle. I mean, look how many players have gone to Real Madrid who's Liverpool bound. It's crazy. It's crazy. Caicedo goes to Chelsea. I mean, come on, man. Supposedly, we chased him and all that stuff. Yeah, man.
They're master manipulators, put that way.
Yeah, they are 100%, man. 100%. What is Norm saying? The hunger and desire from us fans is not matched by FSG. It is simple as that.
Yeah.
I think this is what they are, bro, Norm. You know what I mean? You can't change people like this. If you look at the history of owning sports, teams, it's always been the same. Even with the Red Sox, it's every 5 years project. If you look at us right now, like I said yesterday or the day before that, it's been 5 years since we last won the league. So it's every 5 years you got to wait for a league charge. And are you willing to do that? Are we going to be alive that long? You know what I mean? We don't know in life, man. You know what I mean? Life disappears. Life is about here and now, not like 50 years down the road. That's what you got to look at, man. This is why a lot of us get upset with their behaviors towards our football club. Like I said, maybe one day people need to sit down with them and have a chat with them and try to find out what their intentions are with our football club, because I don't think enough questions are asked about them. I mean, I see us will just go along whatever they do, but what about sitting with your ownership and asking them questions about your football club and the love you have for Liverpool Football Club? I don't think there's enough about that. You know what I mean? You get the people who support them, you get the people in the middle, and you get the people who oppose them. You know what I mean? What about if everybody gets together and we put them in a stage and ask them questions, what their intentions are with our football club? Is that hard to ask for? We're not paying money for that. So just, let's all talk to them. It ain't that hard, man. What's Dara saying here? I know it's Slot's first season, bro. This is Slot's first season. Remember, it never will be normal. I know that, bro. I know. I don't put pressure on him in regards to that. But what worries me about him is how much more can he take this? Say we win the league, and he wants more power. That's what happens at the end with managers. And coaches. They will ask for more stuff, and they don't provide him. And then you get big teams coming for him afterwards. We're in trouble then, aren't we, Unks? I mean,
sure. I mean,
people don't look into that, do they? Really, clubs that have more ambition than you can get your coach if you don't have that ambition with him.
No, I don't. I mean, well, what it is now, I know it's his first season, that right, but there's this thing about schoolboy errors in the day, right? And schoolboy errors should not be tolerated, whether it's your first season or your 10th season. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's simple.
Let me add on to that, Unks. There's not every coach is not like Jurgen. They're not gonna say no to Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bayern Munich. Not every coach is gonna do that. Jurgen was is a one-off. It's very rare. That's 1 in a million. So we're gonna have to wait a years. I don't know about Arne Slot. I don't know about his background. All I know is when he was told he's going to Liverpool, he was in a press conference. Obviously, was final. Then he started announcing that he's going to Liverpool. That's the respect to that. Disrespect.
That's a disrespect, though. I don't really like that.
A lot of people don't like that, man. I love the guy for what he's doing at Liverpool, but you don't do things like that. So imagine if Liverpool don't go to his direction in the future, what he could do. You know what I mean? He might do a similar thing, start announcing Real Madrid, I'm going to Real Madrid. You know what I mean? Then what can we do? We don't know his character. We don't know his character, guys. So we've got to be careful how we go on about things like this.
It's not Trent. It's not Trent. Yeah, it's not Trent. You got Trent. Yeah, like the next game at the day. The next game, he's in a press conference, and then he announced at the day that he's going to Real Madrid.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm going to Real Madrid. Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be like, bro, that's a disrespect, King.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're not there yet. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you have to kind of like be mindful of those people like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, but for me at the end of the day, right, I know it's his first season, but for me at the end of the day, there's certain schoolboy errors that he made this season and that he should not make, even though it's his first season. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? You give him some like leeway because it's his first season.
Yeah.
But there's certain things that he's done and things like, well, nah. First season or second season, doesn't matter. He should have done that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. We won't win the league again potentially for a long time after this season. Just enjoy it when it's won. It just depends on the club's ambition after this, mate. Are we going to sign, 3 or 4 players? That's what we need anyway. Maximum is 4, minimum is 3. So are we going to go down that direction, or are we going to avoid that? That's what we need to know. You know what I mean, that's a bold prediction. I think Trudon, that's what it says from Dara. Listen, Trudon is Trudon, man. He's straight to the point. You know what I mean, Dara,
he loves to talk sense as well. He loves to talk sense.
Yeah, he's right about that. We ain't built to win titles consistently. He's right about that because it's 5 years later. Remember what people used to say to us, American fans that we used to get on our channels before, Unks. It's every 5 years project. You know what I mean? So they are right. It's been 5 years since the last time we won the league, so they're not wrong what they said. I mean, you could check out the streams years ago when the FSG, obviously when Jurgen came into the team, they said it's every 5 years. Once they start winning, it's every 5 years. You have to wait.
Yeah.
It's happening. This is a Salah carry job. Let's be honest. It ain't just Salah, bro. It's the team as a whole got together and they're doing brilliantly. Salah scored goals, but you still need players behind him that's going to create for him, that's going to run for him, that's going to, stop the goals going in, you know what I mean, and all that stuff. So when people say it's a one-man thing, I don't think it is. If Van Dijk wasn't at the back, would we actually win these games? If Alisson wasn't in goal, would we win these games, Uncle Rods? What do you think about what people say about Salah?
It's a bit unfair to say and it's like a one-man job and it's just Salah. Do you know what I mean? There's many components to the team and why we've been winning like these games. Many components to it. Do you know what I mean? And you got your Salah, you obviously got your Salah, you got your Trent, you got your Van Dijk, you got your Konate, you got Szoboszlai, you got your Ryan Gravenberch, you got your McAllister, you got your Alisson. You know what I mean? You just got so many components to our success to the season in the league. You know what I mean? To say at the day, it's just Salah, and then it's not Salah. To me, at the day, is not being fair to the other players. Like for instance, at the day, Halo and Molly shows and they go, "You're not going to do well next season. You know why? Because your 3 players are going to be gone next season. Not going to be here, so you're not going to do well." Well, that, to me, at the end of the day, that's been a bit sort of like unfair to the rest of the guys that's in the team. I know these players at the end of the day, like your Trent and your Van Dijk and Salah, are good players. I'm not going to lie about that, right? But so are the other ones are good players as well. Do you know what I mean? And so the other ones that they pull their weight and do their bit. Do you know what I mean? So it's not down to sort of like, one player. It's not down to 3 players. It's down to 11 players.
Yeah,
that's what it's down to.
Well, Salah scored a lot of goals before. Did we win league titles? Not really. You know what I mean? So the only season we haven't actually we won the league title, he was on his lowest goal scoring form. So I mean, so
and who was scoring most of the goals then? It was Mane, wasn't it?
Mane and all those guys, yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, so we've got to be careful how we're going about things like that. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Yeah,
It's very disrespectful to the rest of the players.
Yeah.
I've always said it: a team wins you titles, not one man. And we need to step away from that, because we used to have one man before. We didn't win many titles with him. You know what I mean? Steven Gerrard. You know what I mean? I'm not discrediting what Steven Gerrard's done, because he played with poor teams like everybody else says. But that doesn't work. You need the spine of the team. You need, obviously, from the goalkeeper to the defender to midfielder to the striker. You need that spine to be very strong for you to win league titles. And
of course.
This is why we're doing what we're doing. And unfortunately, like Uncle Ross said earlier, we've been playing with the same 11 all season and expecting like them to be in that high level throughout the games, and it's never gonna happen. Like I said, I took something out of the two games, that the PSG game and the Newcastle game. They were so similar. I've realized it's nothing to do about the quality of the teams that we face. It was to do with the players being tired, because if it's the same performances in two games, that means it's the players' performances is not up to scratch. It's nothing to do with the technical and the quality of the players you're facing. I don't think it was anything to do with that, to be fair, Uncle Ross.
No, in fact, no, that's big facts. That's big facts, because I mean, I think there was a couple of games that I pointed out to you, and you agreed with me, after the game. You know, after the game, sometimes we have a chat on the phone. And I think there's one or two games that I pointed out. You see, that's what I mean. That's what we mean about needed a proper DM.
Yeah.
Because Ryan Gravenberch was doing too much work in midfield. So we've seen things like this happening, and we knew at the end of the day, well, one stage at the end of the day, right, the team at the end of the day is just going to break down. And I think at the end of the day, sort of like the PSG game and the sort of like the Newcastle game, I think the team literally broke down.
Yeah.
Now, before it gets to that, right, what you're supposed to do in the day, right, you're supposed to rotate. Yeah. But I think at the end of the day, sort of like, personally, some of the players at the day, but it's 6 players at the day, he doesn't rate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He doesn't really want him to play in the team. Yeah. So then he's making it personal. To me, at the day, that's not a good sign of a head coach, because what you're supposed to do at the end of the day, you're supposed to put your personal feelings aside and play the players that's going to get you.
Don't forget, Uncle, let me add on to that. At the beginning of the season, he says he wants to see this team that he has. He wants to assess. Remember, assess. Yeah. So if you assessing the team, then give people a chance. Then we can see if they're good enough or not. Do you agree? Or
no? I do. I totally agree, because what I was saying, and they sort of like, you see, like when Endo was coming on doing his doing the thing at the end of the day that we obviously knew can do it, and what he's supposed to do in it. Like, he was surprised. He was literally surprised.
Mm-hmm.
And we was like saying, why are you surprised? We done be telling you at the end of the day what sort of player he's like, that he should be playing in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm getting at? You know? So really and truly, at the end of the day, those 2 games, right, that we had with PSG and Newcastle, I would have been starting Endo in midfield. Endo and Curtis Jones in midfield, and have like Gravenberch and sort of like McAllister on the bench, ready to come on, and then to sort of like, you know, obviously put the game to bed. But no, you didn't do that. You didn't do that. What you then did in the day, you put the same 11 out that you had the other day, expecting it's going to work. You know, that's what they say. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing but expecting a different outcome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like this comment says. Think about this. The spin in the preseason was he wants in this first season to see all the squad. Okay, but YSL, Clark, Carvalho, Vandenberg, then he can't have seen all from them in preseason. Yeah, it's true. Like exactly. That's what we said. Assess the squad. That's what he said. Assess.
He shouldn't have sold them to. I'm sorry. he should not have sold them to. That was a bad mistake selling them to, because in pre-season and Carvalho played well in pre-season.
Yeah.
He did play well, right? And even Seth Vandenberg played well, to be honest, and in pre-season. But the only reason he sold those players, right? Those players got sold because he got told that they were selling them, and he ain't gonna say, he didn't say nothing. He wasn't gonna say nothing because he's just a head coach.
It's funny, though, like when you sell players, like we always say, you know, we're self-sustainable club, you know, and all that stuff. Like we sell to buy and all that stuff. But how comes we sold all these players and we didn't get nothing in return? That's what I don't understand. Exactly. I mean, Clark's gone, Vandenberg is gone, and Carvalho's gone. We got, you know, good money for them. What was the spending after that? Just on what, Chiesa? That's it. Is that
the only spent money?
Did we really need Chiesa really at the time? No.
Well, you know what it is at the day, right? You know what it is at the day, right? I can understand why they bought Chiesa, because at the day that was a deal at the day that you could not afford to sort of like
let go,
push away. You had to go for that thing, right? My problem is at the day, right? You know what I mean? It's like you got him, he's fit, play him. Do you know what I mean? Play him now. You know what I mean? So if at the end of the season and the day he decides at the day that, well, you know, I want to go back to Italy, you can't really blame him, because he hasn't been given a chance. Do you understand what I'm saying? You know, with those two players that they did sell, you know, Seth Vandenberg and Fabio Carvalho, and right, you should have went out and bought some players with that money. They made about nearly 80. I think they made about 80 million. So about 80 million.
They got good money for
they
them.
made.
They got good money for them. You know
good money on the transfer to them. Because remember at the day, you know, the money they spent on Chiesa was the money reaching.
And don't forget the wage bill they got off the, you know, the club as well. You know, the players that left in the summer, like Matip's, you know, Thiago's and all that stuff as well. So there's players that you know,
they made money.
They made money. That's why I don't understand this about this £50 million deficit. You know, like when the financial side, you know, the financial bit came into light about us losing 50 million. You know what I mean? You lost Klopp, you lost Matip, high wages, over 100,000 a week, and you lost Thiago, 200,000 a week. So how you still got money issues? That's what I don't understand. So
no, they don't. They're just lying, because you know what it is. Remember the other day I was talking about sort of like Carvalho, not Carvalho, Dominic Solanke getting sort of like the money from him, yeah?
Right? He's still, to Tottenham.
Yeah, getting that money for the sell-on clause, right? I was trying to think of another player that got some money for sell-on clause, yeah? Do you know what that was? Luis Alberto, you remember him?
Yeah, the place for Lazio.
Right, they got some money for him, yeah? Last season and the day, they got some money for him, yeah? I think he's gone somewhere else, yeah?
He's not at Lazio anymore, I know that.
He's gone somewhere else. So what it is, they got a sell-on clause. They had a sell-on clause with that, so they got some money for that. Wow. What I'm trying to say at the day, right, is that last summer, right, FSG made bare money last summer, right, but nothing went into the team. Nothing went into the team in summer. Nothing went into the team in January
either.
I think that's poor. I think that's poor.
Yeah.
And we got listen. What is it? What's going to happen? Yeah, mark my words at the day, right? I think at the day we're going to be faced with the same thing, sort of like this summer. Because what's going to happen is one or two things, right? Either A, not going to buy anybody, or B, they're going to buy a player or two, but they're not going to finish the job.
Yeah,
they probably buy like, and even when they buy these players at the day, right? It'd be players at the day that's not a necessity.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a bargain, isn't it? It's a bargain.
Yeah.
Even McAllister was a bargain, wasn't it? So
McAllister that day was probably a necessity, but it'd probably go out and buy. I don't know. They probably go out and buy 10. Yeah. Go and buy 10. Yeah. Right. When they know at the day they need a DM.
I never understand that. That's what I meant to ask you, Uncle. Yeah, let me just read the comments before we go on. Hold the DM thought. The hold the DM thought. Yeah, the hold the DM bit. That's what I'm saying. Thought. Carvalho had a promise. Uncle Ross loved Carvalho, guys. Just to let you know.
Like, he's good. I thought he's a good player, very good player.
Yeah, I just think his attitude stunk. You know what I mean? His attitude wasn't for a big team. He thought he was better than what he is instead of developing as a player. If his attitude was right, he'd still be here, in my opinion. He had a lot for a young player. He had a lot of improvements to do, but he didn't think he did the improvements. He thought he was that good. I mean, I like that attitude, but you got to listen to the club at the same time as well, and all that.
Do you think sort of like, obviously, all right, he went on loan to these clubs and everything, and he come back and he done his pre-season. Do you think when he done his pre-season do you think that his attitude was right then? I mean, I can probably understand, obviously, before. You know what I mean? Attitude might not be right before. I could probably give you that, but do you think
Uncle, didn't he have a dig when he left? I swear he had a dig at the club when he was at when he got sold.
That's the first time.
Yeah,
that was the first time because what he had a dig with, he had a dig at Klopp, like saying they basically what he said, and they goes,
why buy me as a winger when you bought me as a 10 or something like that?
Yeah, it wasn't much of a dig. It was like it was kind of like a statement. You know what I mean? To say, well, look, you know, right? If you don't play with a 10, why did you buy me? Because you know I'm a 10. Do you know what I mean? Right? There's no point in me playing me on the left.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you know I'm a 10. You know what I mean? But like this time when they sold him, he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything.
Okay. Norm says the kids helped us in March, April last season. They could have helped us this season. There you go, people. See, it can work when you give people opportunities. He's 100% right. Norm goes games on a regular basis, and he's seen it for himself. 100% right. I agree with you, 100%, mate. Because if the kids can, don't forget the kids played in the League Cup. I guess probably, you know, the £1 billion team, Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? So if you could beat a team like that with the kids, it shows, you know, anything is possible if you get opportunities. And this time we let the senior players play in the cup final, and what happened? They lost. There you go. I find myself always agreeing with JK. Thanks, mate. Thanks, Genghis. Thank you, mate. Oh, man. Let me just go. We have a brilliant team, but not a brilliant squad, in my view. I've always said that, bro. The depth of the team is not all that.
Yeah, it's not
the depth of the team is when you see the likes of Origi coming off the bench and scoring winning goals. The depth of the team is when you see the likes of Shaqiri setting up goals and scoring important goals. The depth of the team is like, you know, when Salah and Firmino are on the bench and you beat Barcelona 4-0. You know what I mean? Without those two. So that's the depth that we're missing in this football club at the moment. And I don't see enough of that. I don't see, you know, winning important games on a consistent, like Man United at home, Everton away. Like, you got to beat your rivals, man. You got to beat your rivals. Arsenal away. You got to beat them. I mean, so the depth is just not there, Norm. You're spot on, mate. Uncle, I was speaking to you about the DM position. If you could hear me, Uncle Roz.
Okay. Sorry,
Well, let me just read this comment. Do you guys think change is needed up front or in the back line? VVD, Robertson aging, Trent leaving, yet pundits talking like front line needed revamp. Thoughts? I'll come on to that in a second, my friend. Yeah, you was talking about the DM position, Uncle.
Yeah, he's just like to me.
Yeah, even when Fabinho was there, we still needed someone to learn under him. As I remember when why are we always avoiding that area of the pitch, Unks? That's what I don't understand.
No, we are. We can't. I don't think it's just that. I think what the recruitment and day is all wrong, man. It's just all wrong. Yeah. We're getting in players at the day that we don't really need. Mm-hmm. We're not filling. We haven't had a window. Yeah, we haven't had a window where we filled all the gaps in the team that we need to fill. Yeah. And it's not very hard to do that. This is what I'm saying. It's not very hard to do that. Just fill the gaps. Don't leave us half short. Do you know what I mean? Because remember the day, sort of like, even that season that when Smacker was in, yeah, and he was able to sort of like bring in some bodies, got a few bodies in that, right? Yeah. Remember the guy that that's at Wolves now, Trindale. Yeah, he was supposed to be at Liverpool in that January window. That January window, he was supposed to come to Liverpool. But then, as we come up to January, like we're hearing all this talk about Fulham's interested. Oh, he's going to go to Fulham and this and that and all that. He doesn't go to Fulham and he ends up at Wolves. Do you know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying? So we never, to me, at the end of the day, get to fill the necessary gaps in sort of like in our team. That's why I'm thinking at the day, right? The next season at the day, right? What they're gonna do in the day, right? They're gonna probably spend, right? Well, I don't know, probably majority of the money on 2 attackers.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be. And they're gonna forget at the fact at the day that we need a centre back. They're gonna forget at the day that we need a DM. Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm getting at? And I mean, there's rumours that they're looking at Mark Gay. Mark Gay, come on now, man. Is this? See, this is what I'm trying to. Oh my God, this is what I'm trying to say, right? People are talking about sort of like money being spent. You know what I mean? Money being spent, and like we need to spend money. If we need to get they sort of like
If he's going to be the replacement for Van Dijk, then we've got a big problem, in my opinion.
We've got problems.
He ain't that good. I don't think he's that good, bro.
No, he's not that good.
I know football, guys. You know what I mean? I've seen football all my life. Mark Gay, he ain't the one that's replacing Van Dijk. I'm sorry. We're going to go back to the era of Phil Babbs and John Scales and Neil Ruddock. That's what we're going to Mark Wright. Remember people, Mark Wright was supposed to replace, Alan Hansen and that stuff. That's after that 1990 World Cup. You know what I mean? He was the next big thing. Obviously, Glenn Hussein, covered Alan Hansen for a bit when Alan Hansen had those injuries, Norm, as you remember, and Dara. But, Mark Wright was never the one that's replacing Hansen. You know what I mean? And this is how I see it when I'm looking at Gay. Gay is good, but he's not up to this, levels of Van Dijk. Come on, man. And Hansen and that. Come on.
So this is what we got to try, obviously, and they make sure we don't get fooled in the day. It's right buying players, and obviously money's being spent.
Let's bring in Mr. Anthrop.
Anthrop, my good friend Anthrop.
That guy.
Yeah, I was just saying that day. It's all right bringing, obviously, spending money and bringing players in, but the standards have got to be right, my friend.
Exactly, mate.
The standards have got to be right, because if the standards not right, you might as well keep your money in your pocket. Exactly, man.
Nah, man.
Gary's not the one.
He's not the one.
This is why I know where the standards are at. Yeah, right, right. Because I like that guy. What's his name? John Philip Mateta.
Yeah.
Right? And now people are saying that he's a good player, but not good enough for Liverpool. So guys are like, okay, that's good. That is good that people are speaking like that. Yeah. At least I know now, and then the standards, and then of what we're supposed to be going for then now.
Of course. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I happen to rate that John Philip Mateta.
Me too. I think he's good at I don't think he's a starter. I think if you want someone to change games to come off the bench, I think he'd be brilliant at that. I think.
Oh yeah. He'd be like a week in it.
Yeah. He's quick. He's big. He's strong. You know what I mean? But you still need an Alvarez or an Isak or someone like that. But I agree with you, mate. Like, I'm glad you've seen that, because I thought I was the only one that's seen it. If Gahey is the one that's going to replace Van Dijk, then we've got a big problem, man. Like Dara, you know it. Norm, you know it. The older fans, you know it. That's what I see when we try to replace Hansen. Look what we replaced him with. Joke, a bunch of clowns that was just happy to be at Liverpool Football Club, as John Barnes said. I remember John Barnes' statement, what he said. Players were coming to Liverpool when the big players left, like Hansen, Whelan, McMahon. When all these guys left, players came to Liverpool being happy to be part of Liverpool. That's what they were here for. They forgot they forgot you're here to win trophies, but they were just
work hard.
And after that, we see them in the Legends game nowadays. We see them in the press because they've got that CV. They played for Liverpool Football Club. That's what it is, man. We've got to be careful with things like this. For Van Dijk, nah, no chance. What do you think of this comment, Uncle, from Genghis? He said, do you think a change is needed up front or in the back line? VVD, Robertson aging, Trent leaving, yet pundits talk like front line need revamp. Thoughts? So do you think we need revamp from the back to the front, or just one area? In your opinion, Uncle?
Back to front, because that's what you always do. You always build from the back, don't you? When you're building a team, in the day, right? Yeah, when you're building a team, the first priority is in the day, it's to build from the back. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to. It's like when you're building a house, right? You build the foundation first.
Of course.
You don't just slap a load of bricks and hope for the best, do you? You know what I mean? You build a healthy foundation in the day and build it upwards, don't you? You build upwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the roof, is the last thing to go on. Am I lying?
Yeah, listen, I've always said that while the players are still here, get their replacement in, and then we could sort, the future out from there. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
let them in a season or two learn under these guys, and then you pass on the the knowledge and everything like that, and then the success continues continuously. You know what I mean? That's what I said to Dara the other day, and he remembers it. Like when you look at Liverpool in the old days, they were good at that. They were way ahead of their time, and considering we don't spend much in this football club with these owners, why don't we do it that way, the cheaper way? Get youngsters that's got potential to take over, the leaders of the team, and then when it's time, you move them on, and they get youngsters coming through and take over. It's easier that way than keep buying players for over 100 million, Uncle. You know what I mean? Which we ain't gonna spend anyway. You know what I mean? Like we said we're gonna buy a Caicedo for 111 million, and then we got Endo, and then there's what we're here in the other season. Are we looking for a DM for 100 million? No. So where is that money? That's a question, John. Where is that money? But like Angus, like Uncle said, you start from the back to the front, bro. I mean,
build your foundation in the day, right? Start with building your foundation in the day, right? And then you build upwards. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. It's like building a team, It's like building a house. You start with a back line first, which is the foundation, and then you build upwards, and then your roof, which will be your attack, is the last thing to go on. Do you know what I'm saying? So really and truly in the day, right? You know what I mean? It's like the attack to me is the last thing. Because you know what it is at the day, you think about it. I know your feelings on Luis Diaz in the day, but I share those feelings as well, right? But like if you got like a good backline and you got a good midfield, right? Your attackers start cooking.
Oh yeah.
Attackers then start cooking. But the problem that we got now, is that the two players that we got in midfield playing that double pivot, they're having to do too much work. You know what I mean? They're having to defend, hold the ball as well, and also pass it and do a set up attacks as well. They're having to do too much. You know what I mean?
Because in the old days, the other ones, you just tell them to work hard, let Trent and Robertson create the chances, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now Trent and Robertson have to concentrate on the defensive side. It's very hard for those midfielders that's in front of them doing all that stuff. You know what I mean? So this is why you see a lot of fatigue, and players are not playing within themselves anymore. It's very hard to watch when I'm watching our players. The way teams run through our midfield, it is just appalling. It really angers me. It really angers me because it's not the play. I can't blame the players because they're trying, but it's just not working anymore. You know what I mean? Where's the Gravenberch turns? You know what I mean? Where is the McAllister passes through the lines and things like that?
It's shocking.
They're committing a lot of fouls in a higher area that rather I mean, and I don't know, man, and important areas around the box as well. Which shows you they can't run back anymore. If you know what I mean, guys. If you're making a lot of fouls on the pitch, which McAllister is doing recently, sometimes it's not a foul, but the referee will still give it. That's how it is. We can't do nothing about it. But it shows it's the lack of they can't really move like they used to anymore because they're tired, man. They're absolutely tired. If you play football, you understand what I'm saying. Because if you play too many games, man, it catches up with you, and that's what's happened to these players.
I mean, but even that, like even people that obviously haven't played football and stuff, they should still be able to see it. It's just they should be able to see that sort of like people like Ryan Gravenberch and McAllister. They look literally out on their feet. And that game against Newcastle, I hate to bring that up again because obviously that's a sore point for us, But that game against Newcastle, right, proved it. It proved and how tired this midfield was. It proved the fact that today that sort of like Sabozlai, yeah, which normally does a lot of run up and down, was too tired to get back.
Yeah.
Too tired.
Yeah. Genghis is saying, will Darwin be remembered as a help or a burden? Bit of both, but to the outside world. But if you go to Anfield, Genghis, they love this guy. Ask Uncle Ross. Me and him went to the little game, Uncle. They just shouting his name from the stands, man.
They love him.
Corner of the stands. They love him, man. They love him at Anfield. Yeah. You could ask Norm as well, who goes to games regularly. It's always like that. It's so loud, we even join in. You know what I mean? I can't even help myself sometimes. I start shouting Nunes. Yeah. Outside world is a burden, but if you look at Anfield, they love him. It's because he works hard, guys. He runs up and down that pitch. He gives it his all. He might not be delivering the goals that you need, but it's the hard work. Liverpool fans, there's something they ask of you as a footballer, which is if you give us 100%, we'll support you to the hill. And he does get 100% in the work rate. That's why they love him so much.
Yeah.
Bit of both, Genghis. Bit of both, brother.
Yeah, for real.
In that one. Dara said, if I did the same thing over and over again, I wouldn't expect the same outcome because of repetition. That alone would how do you say that? Presuppose a better outcome. Okay. All right.
What I was talking about, Dara, is like the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome.
Yeah.
Definition of insanity.
Yeah, it's true. Also, this is from Anne. Norm also saved on wages of Doak, Bajcetic, Matip, and Thiago. We saved a lot of money, bro. A lot of money, man. That's why I'm a bit confused. Like we're struggling for money all over the place. It's a weird one, isn't it? It's like that Mo Chapra. Is it Mo Chapra, the finance guy, who said that there's still a lot of money going out, even though a lot of players have left, which is weird. Absolutely strange, man.
That's weird.
It was great to see Riera today. I remember.
Yeah, it was.
I remember Riera. After that season, we challenged for the title. With Man United, they beat us to the title. We only lost 2 games that season.
Yeah,
very strange. I remember he said we've got a sinking. He called us a sinking ship. That's what he called us. That's what angered me. Good, he done a good on the left. I remember, but I remember that Aston Villa goal against Aston Villa.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that. The volley there.
Yeah, the goalkeeper kicked it from his obviously.
Yeah, Peperina, innit? Kicked him up
over the top. Bam! Straight in the top corner.
Smacked it, boy. It's like, nah, I'm out with that. But yeah, it was good to see him in that game, Averera. Also good to see Crouch as well.
Too, man. Crouch scored 2. Wow.
Yeah. I've always rated him. I remember, sorry to cut across you, I remember being on the phone one time and when that guy again, that striker, he came after Ian Rush for a season.
After Ian Rush.
Yeah, after Ian Rush.
Stan Collymore?
No, remember Ian Rush went to Juventus for a year.
Oh, John Aldridge.
Yeah, John Aldridge. He was on Talk Sport, and this is when obviously Kraut was coming in, and he obviously heard Kraut was coming in. Got him for 7.5 million, and he was like going off. He was going off. He was vexed. Oh, we don't need him. He's crap. He's this and that. And I was saying, bro, something like, give him a chance. He hasn't kicked the football yet. I goes literally at the end of the day, right? I said that Benitez knows what he's doing. He's got him in there, and he's got him in there for a reason. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't worry, he's gonna cook. So like basically, in the day, sort of like, remember he didn't score for a good while, didn't he?
Oh yeah.
And I was like, fucking, right, I'm gonna have to eat my words soon. But then he scored against Wigan, didn't he? He scored against Wigan.
Yeah.
I think once he scored against Wigan that time, because he scored 2 goals actually.
Yeah.
He scored 2 goals against Wigan that day. Yeah. And once he sort of like scored those goals in there, he just never stopped scoring, didn't he?
Yeah.
He just never stopped scoring. I loved him as a player.
Underrated as a Liverpool player, I thought, man.
Yeah.
The thing that hampered him in his career at Liverpool is when we bought Torres, isn't it? And Yeah, he said like Torres is too good. I can't take. Obviously, I'm never gonna get a place in the team, so he left. I mean, we had Dirk Kuyt and Torres in it, so it's very difficult for him to get into the team. Norm says also, why would the club pay up Klopp's contract, which is what they claim they did? It was Klopp who decided to leave. It makes no sense to me. That's a strange one, that one. He is right, If you paid, well, if a person is breaking from his contract, he signed for extra 2 years, would you still pay him? He decided to leave. It wasn't actually the club that pushed him out. Strange. Very strange.
That's why I say they lie a lot.
Oh, yeah, Gonzalez. Dara, I think Gonzalez was with us for 1 season, wasn't he? I remember.
Yeah, Mark Gonzalez, yeah.
Yeah, I think 1 season he came, innit?
We waiting for 1 season as well. Remember, we
had him out on loan. Yeah, we had him out on loan, as I remember. Yeah, it was the same. It's very quick, very fast player. I remember that. Because we had Harry Kewell as well at the same time. The failure, Harry Kewell, man. What a shame. Yeah, Mark Gonzalez, sick player, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, he was very good.
I just wish he lasted longer at Liverpool Football Club. I think it would have been all right. 1 season, I think it was. Gerrard was balling out in the charity match. Gerrard is quality, isn't he, guys? He's quality no matter what we think, man.
He was pinging us passes like
I didn't watch it, so I won't know.
No, I saw clips of it, and he was like pinging us passes like he never left the club.
Quality is stays in it. Class is permanent, as they say, innit?
Yeah,
I feel
class is permanent.
100%. I feel Cavalier had more ability than Jones. Elliott, however, bad attitude did not help him. That's why I said, Norm, I think that's what it was. If he stayed and just got on with football, I think he would have been all right. But he just gets frustrated too quickly, unfortunately. Some kids want everything too quick, and their career afterwards just goes down, and that's what's happening to him. Look at him at the Brentford. Does he even get a kick, Uncle, at Brentford? I don't remember him playing.
He does get, through games. Doesn't get a lot, but he gets a few games, and he scored one goal since he's been there. Yeah. I think that Seth Vandenberg's had more starts than him.
Wow, that's a shock. I think even Seth Vandenberg is saying, I want to come back to Liverpool one day, and he said something like that, as I remember.
You see that Thomas Franks?
I like him, I've got all the time for that manager, I really like him.
I've got a lot of time for him. He's very humble, and very cool, and I think the team that he's got and the way he's constructed his team, and that I think it's very good. I mean, I think what he does in the day, he kind of says, right, you know what, I'm gonna go for these cups, right. With all hell fails in the day, right? Premiership sustainability is sort of like important, and he does that.
Yeah, he's quality, man. Absolutely quality, man. Let me continue with the comments. Jota Nunes, a decision there. Nunes likely to go. Jota, do we have another season of risking him being injured all the time? I think it's time to go, bro. Norm, like you know from experience, Norm, like look how long we had to wait for Aga to come back. Look how long we have to wait for Sturridge to come back. We don't want to keep paying someone money. When we could get someone that's more than ready to be, a first team or coming off the bench player that's going to be less injured. This season, I think this is the worst I've seen Jota. He doesn't really commit players anymore. You see him, he's starting games that has no effect at all. No effect whatsoever in games. So do you want more of this injury-prone player, in your team? I think it's time to go, because I don't think players like that change. They will never change, in my opinion. And the best way to ask him to stay is say pay as you play. I guarantee you say no to that. So let him go wherever he wants. Thank you for the memories, because I thought he'll be the next step. When Origi and all them left. The next player is going to take us to the next level. Yeah, but he hasn't done nothing, mate. He's done absolutely nothing. This is the only season we're gonna win the league with him in the team. But has he contributed a lot, Unks? Really?
No.
This season?
No, he hasn't.
Only you could say Nottingham Forest game. That's about it, really. I can't. That was a draw. Didn't really win that game either. So, yeah. a strange one. Mark Gahey is not good in the air. In my view, it's just. I think he's just an average defender. Like I honestly think that, guys. I don't think he's all that. I think he's overrated. You know what I mean? Because he plays well for England, it doesn't mean he's a regular, high performer. You need consistency in defense for you to succeed, to be successful. You know what I mean? Is he consistent to be like that? No. What do you think, Uncle, about that?
I think he's more Bournemouth level. Bournemouth. I wouldn't go so far as Brentford.
Unks, let me continue with that. Yeah. Where do these people get it from? Like he's that good?
I don't know.
Because I don't know.
I think there's a lot of hyping up from these journalists. You know what I mean? Not hyping up, like to say, well, if Liverpool do buy him, yes, Liverpool do buy him, because wow, you got a great player there, you got a really great player there, but they know he's not. Do you know what I mean? It's a lot of hyping up, but he's not good. He's not at the level of what we want. I tell you, he was at the level of what we want. That Hato from Ajax. That's the level that we should be going.
He got sent off, didn't he? He got sent off.
Yeah, he got sent off. But that's the level he should be going at because he's young and he can only get better as he go along.
Gega says, I hope Slot don't just jump on anything he can get. I think he'll be advised well. I don't think he's gonna jump onto anything. That's why they're taking their time. I just hope, like, from last summer to this summer, they've got the right players in place to buy. That's what I hope for their sake. You know what I mean? Because if we go through another summer not buying players again, which is more likely to happen, you know what I mean? Guys, don't hold your breath. There'll be a travesty. You know what I mean? That means we're not serious to retain our title. You know what I mean? That's how I see it. Because when you win one title, you want to do it again and again and again, don't you? And I think this summer is a pivotal summer for FSG and everybody, because we're gonna see if they're with us or they're against us. You know what I mean? The people that, especially, I already know where they are. Uncle Ross already knows where they are. There's still people holding on to hope, and there's people in the middle. I mean, those people I'm saying. So let's just wait and see, innit? So let's just wait and see. Let me get to the next comment before we go. Big up Norma as always. Big up Genghis. Big up everybody else and Dara and that. Joe Gomez is better than Gahey. If Joe Gomez is fit, he's better than most of the people, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's better than most of the defenders, really, to be honest.
Well, if you look at the season we won the league, Unks, Joe Gomez was the defender with Van Dijk. People forget that.
That's what I'm saying.
Matip was injured a lot that season. It was actually Joe Gomez that stepped in and helped Van Dijk out throughout that season. And people forget that.
Once Joe Gomez gets fit and match fit, he's to me, and he's probably one of the number one. I would say he goes towards the number one defender in England. He's very good. People don't realize how good he is. He's just been unlucky with it.
In a way, Uncle. Like, I don't think people appreciate him as much as you do.
No, they don't. I still remember that 18-year-old kid that came in from Charlton. Brendan Rodgers. That's probably one of the best things that Brendan Rodgers did, and they was bringing Joe Gomez to the club. Yeah, I remember when he came in the first day and he played one of the games he played against Man United. He just went in there. He had no fear. Yeah, he just went in there, and he was even playing out of position. You know what I mean? Because left back, he's not in position. He's just like he's an amazing player, and I don't think
he's let him down. The poor I feel bad. So I like him, and not only that, every player that plays for Liverpool, if it's English or from abroad, they all say good things about Joe Gomez. Everyone loves him. He always welcomes people in, and he always, he doesn't leave people out any conversations either. Lovely guy, man. Very good. It's just unfortunate.
Humble guy as well,
Huh?
He's a humble guy as well, because I think
very lovely guy, man. Very lovely guy.
I think Coppish, them guys from Coppish, they met him on the train going back to London. Yeah, and they said they couldn't believe how humble he is when they spoke to him. They couldn't believe it. Do you know what I mean?
A lovely guy, man. Dara says, I just don't understand the obsession with buying a number 6. There are more important areas that need strengthening, in my opinion. A number 6 sweeper is contingent on what's behind and in front of him. What do you think about that comment, Uncle?
No, I still think a number 6 is important. I think
Is a pivotal part of the team. Yeah,
It's a pivotal part of the team.
Has it really been the same? I don't think so.
No, because what it is in the day, I think what it is, a six in the day, a six can literally dictate the way you win a game. Do you know what I mean?
Well,
when you look at people like Claude, the greatest sixes that you ever seen in the day, right, to grace the Premiership, right? Two of the greatest I've seen, right, in my lifetime to grace the Premiership have been Claude McAnally, yeah, and N'Golo Kante. They will show you why you need a six in your team. They will show you that their sheer brilliance, that what they're doing, and all of it's like effortless. It's literally effortless. Do you know, I was watching this thing, YouTube clip, yeah? And I think I've told you this before, but what it was, N'Golo Kante and Maria Mahrez were good friends. They're really good friends in that, right?
Okay.
And I think they used to live in the same house, right? And what they used to do, right, what they started to do, right, after games and after training, mainly after training, what they used to do is have personal duels, you know what I mean, right? What it was, Mars was trying to get past him and he had to defend, right? And then obviously other way around, you know what I mean, other way around, and they like, you know, like things got the ball, like, you know, like Fink will have the ball, like Kante will have the ball and everything like right, right. And then Miles has to try and get it off him. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And they used to have that and everything. So what happened and they used to do that after training and right? And then all of a sudden and like one person would be watching him, and all of a sudden it was a whole team that used to watch these duels after every game. You know what I mean? And he used to sort of like thinking, well, who's going to win the duel this week? Do you know what I mean? You know, that's the sort of player that they were like. And these are the players that show you and the importance of having a six in your squad. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, spot on. I agree with you, mate. I agree with you 100%. No doubt about that. The thing is, in football, you need that enforcer. You know what I mean? You need that fear factor in the team. Yeah. I've always said that about us. The issue that we're having, we haven't got enough fear, like, you know, fear factor players. If you look at the greatest teams that ever existed, they always had that fear factor player in the midfield. You look at Liverpool, Dara, and Norm. Like, who did we have? We had Graham Souness. We had Steve McMahon. You know what I mean? We had Steven Gerrard. You know what I mean? We had Mascherano, Didi Hamann. You know what I mean? So the list goes on. Even Ronnie Whelan. People don't know Ronnie Whelan, even though he replaced Ray Kennedy on the left. When Ray Kennedy left, he came into midfield, and out of the two, McMahon and Ronnie Whelan was the, you know, dirty out of the two. People remember that. So you know what I mean? You need that. I know that the modern day football is all about tactical and technical and all that stuff, but you still need that fear factor in midfield. Look at, since Fabinho hasn't been in that midfield, we don't really dominate like we used to anymore. You know what I mean? So if you look at that, there's a spine of the team back in the day. You had obviously Alisson, Van Dijk, Fabinho, Salah, and Firmino and Mane. That was a beautiful spine, and it doesn't matter who you face. As I said earlier, Messi came to Liverpool. Look, that game we won 4-0, but look what Fabinho did to them in that game. Just go back and watch the full game, and you'll see what Fabinho did in that game. He destroyed them all. Messi, he didn't care if you're Messi, Suarez, Coutinho. He didn't care. He was going for you. I mean, so look into that, guys. You do need that fear factor in the midfield. You know what I mean? No matter what football we play, even if it's modern day football, you still need that. Gehi is Maguire in disguise. That's a bit harsh, but I understand what you're saying. I understand.
That's messed up, you know. That's messed up.
But yeah, listen, we gotta be careful. He's right though. Like, it's just Maguire.
Hold on. Check it now, right? What was it? Harry Maguire. Was it Harry Maguire? Is what gay in blackface, isn't it?
Nah, I think Gay is slightly better. Harry Maguire is just it's just appalling, man. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, it's no offense in it, right? But those kind of players, man, it's like us in it with Phil Babb and all those defenders and John Scales and Mark Wright. They should never been at Liverpool. I mean, we needed better quality than that. Let's just be realistic here. I really rate that final right back, Reed. He is quick, aggressive, good crosses. Sorry.
Yeah, he's actually quite good.
I don't know. Do you know anything about him?
I've seen a little bit of him. We'll see in Champions League games and things, those sort of games like that. And he is quick, aggressive, and he does cross the ball well. You know what I mean? You know, yeah. So I do agree with that.
Yeah.
But I think if you're gonna sort of like, if you're gonna bring in some new players in summer, the standards have got to be high. I'm sorry, that's the demand. The standards could be high.
Yeah, they got to play their part in the team, innit? That's what it's all about. Yeah, never replace Ronaldo, but Fabinho we have. Sorry, have we? Do you think about that when he says that? Do you agree with him?
I don't think we have, no. I don't think the job that Ronaldo used to do in the team, was just like, because remember he was an attacking player, and he was, and literally when he came to Liverpool, and like Klopp said, I want you to play this certain way, like a holding midfielder.
Yeah,
he held his ground. He didn't sort of like leave space or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And when the rare times at the day that like Ronaldo wasn't in the team, you really notice it. And also Fabinho as well. We never replaced them. Well, these are players.
What I like about those players is the transition, innit, Uncle? Like, right? If you need Ronaldo to be an attacking midfielder, he became an attacking midfielder. You know what I mean? Look at the 2 goals against Barcelona. You know what I mean? And people forget that. You know what I mean? People thought like he was just a possession keeping midfielder. Like he had more ability than that. He was more of an attacking midfielder before he came to Liverpool. We just turned him into a possession-based midfielder and a backup for obviously Fabinho. What I like about the three, Fabinho, Henderson, and Wijnaldum, they could interchange. You know what I mean? If one of them gets injured, one of them drops in that position, and then you get the player from the bench to play alongside them. So they had that mobility to move around the midfield, and I like that. I really like that. Just like Aga, amazing player, man. Absolutely amazing player. It's just sad his injuries. You know what it is, guys. When people ask for the left-footed centre back, and then to be a left-footed, obviously left-footed centre back that could play left back and a centre back. Not many of them last, Uncle. If you look back at history, not many of them last. Look at the Van der Ven at Spurs. He's struggling already. I mean, the Premier League is a demanding league, and these left-footed players never last for some reason, man. They always got issues. Even left-footed strikers, I always say, they become injury-prone afterwards. You look at Fowler, at Sturridge, you look at Vieri, you look at all those great players, that number 9s that were left-footed. They don't last. They never last, man. I mean, and it's sad to see, but yeah, we just got to be careful with things like that. I've always said that if you want to have continuous success, replace like for like. Don't do this, different kind of way, dynamic, some weird way to change things. If things are good, change with a similar type of players, man.
That's what I'm saying. You see, like if you look at sort of like Danny Aga, he started his career as a striker.
There you go. There you go, man. We're going to be going in a minute, guys. I'm just reading out the comments, then we're off ski. Gomez made his debut away at Arsenal at left back, and he was the best player on the pitch.
Facts. Big facts, Norman.
Actually, at Charlton, he didn't even play as a centre back. He was a right back, actually, an attacking right back at Charlton, as I remember, before he came to Liverpool.
Well, didn't he play? Didn't he play a good few games that day as a left centre back as well? Didn't he?
For Liverpool, or are you talking about Charlton?
No, Charlton. He did play a few games.
Whenever I watched Charlton, he was more of a right back than a centre back, to be fair. I don't know how often they played, with spot on, Uncle Rod's. A DM is a massive modern day football. I've never seen a team without a DM win titles, mate. Even Leicester, you talk about Leicester. Look at that.
N'Golo Kante, and people don't realize how really good he was. This is what I'm trying to say. People do not realize how really good he was. He's a phenomenal player. He's phenomenal.
Humble guy as well, man. Absolutely humble.
Humble. That's the sort of. That's
what I love about him, Uncle? He didn't even know how famous he was. How big he was. Mate, he's having, food with his next door neighbors. They invite him to the house. He goes and eats with them. That's the kind of person N'Golo Kante is, mate.
Do you know what it is? Do you remember this Chelsea fan? I think was it him or his sister was getting married? Somebody was getting married.
He came to the wedding. Yeah.
And he invited him to the wedding, and he came, didn't he?
Yeah.
He came to the wedding.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The people that fame to him wasn't important. It just was not important.
Yeah.
It just didn't register on his radar. Fame. It's just like, what's that? I'm doing a job at the day, right? I'm doing a job that I love doing, and doing a job at the day that I want to do. Do you know what I mean? It's like fame was not important to me. He's a sort of player in the day that you kill to have in your team.
Oh, mate, you know, like if you talk about a Liverpool player, it's written all over him, innit? If you think about it, Hunks. He's what Liverpool are as a football club. If you want to describe Liverpool as in a nutshell, we're like that. We're similar to that guy, man, and we're helpful.
They ruined him like that, Chelsea.
Yeah, that's what Chelsea do.
They ruined him. Really.
That's what Chelsea do. Folks forgot that he started as a left back for LFC Norm. Yeah, that's what it was. You're talking about Gomez, isn't it?
Yeah. He left back. Started left back. Right foot left back.
I remember when he came to the club. He came when Firmino them came, as I remember, and Benteke and players like that, guys.
Didn't he come before them?
No, he came with them. He came the same season. Okay. I remember because it was a pre-season away somewhere. We had that black shirt on. It was a black shirt.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as I remember. Yeah.
Benteke was shit though, wasn't he?
Oh, he was crap. Played well against Liverpool though.
I know, that's always the way though.
When they played against Liverpool, he always used to score, remember?
That's always the way though, isn't it?
Oh, I hate him for that. Way. Really hate him for that, man. Always scoring against us, man.
Mind you, he did score a good goal against Man United, that bicycle kick.
Yeah.
Good goal.
100%. Let me get that next comment up, Uncle. Let me see what you're saying. You can read the Unks.
Maguire reminds me of a 3-2-1 Dusty Bin rumor. Do you remember that show? Did you used to watch that show?
What one?
3-2-1. Do you remember that?
3-2-1. It sounds familiar.
It was a quiz show with this guy called Ted Rogers in the day, and he's a prize in the day, right? And basically in the day, right, like if you lost at the end of the day, you walked away with a dusty bin. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? They'll still have it on YouTube. Watch it on YouTube. There's a dusty bin at the day was a loser prize. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ted Rogers, he's dead now, actually. You know? I think he passed away.
Time passes by quick in it, man.
That was the early 80s program. Do you know what I mean? Do you remember things like It's a Knockout?
Yeah.
It was kind of, you know what I mean? It was that era. Do you know what I mean? You know,
TV ain't what it used to be, is it, guys, man? I miss the old TV. I miss, all the best shows on TV. Like, we had a tradition, in it, Unks, back in the day. Like, like London's Burning and things like that. The Bill. I mean, I miss that. I really miss that.
Even the World Cup, and the sort of like obviously the European Cup, even that sounded different than what it is now. It just sounded more exciting. It just sounded more exciting. Do you know what I mean? You know, it's just like what it comes down to is like an era that you will never get back again. Just once that comes around and it goes, that's just gone. Do you know what I mean? It's just gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, I remember listening to sort of like Radio Luxembourg back in the day when we was kids. You know what I mean? It was so exciting to watch. We put all our money together and make sure we got like a radio and like a radio.
Do you think like the kids of today, they're missing out on things like that? If you look at the way we grew up, you know what I mean? I grew up on Sesame Street and all that stuff, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It was a regular thing on TV, wasn't it? Like it had a time slot for everything. That's what we used to look forward to. We couldn't record, but we had to be there on time, innit, just to watch them. As I remember. And like I appreciate, like when people ask me about the childhood, I say I will never change my childhood for modern day child. I never. It's too easy for them nowadays. They're more.
It's way too easy. It's way too easy. It's way too easy. And I think there was a lot of simple things back in the day. Because I tell you what we did, right?
Mm.
We bought a radio. We put a man together and bought a radio and that,
Mm.
right? Because we wanted to listen to the radio at night time and this and that. Do you know what I mean, right? And because we had separate rooms, yeah. What my other brother did, he thought of an idea. He said, right, here we're doing everything that, right? We'll buy like one of those walkie-talkies, there's toy walkie-talkies.
Mm.
And what we're doing with that, right, is like we'll put it against the radio, right? So like obviously in the next room in the day we can hear the radio. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what is it that we took turns in having the radio? Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But like even though we took turns in having the radio, right, we could still listen to obviously the radio because we had the little toy walkie-talkie up against it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You understand? You know what I mean? And I remember back in the days, back in them days, with Radio Luxembourg, you could never really sort of like, sometimes you can never really get good quality. Do you know what I mean? Right? But sometimes you could. And we used to have this DJ on called, we can look, people can look it up. His name was called Benny Brown. Benny Brown he was called.
Yeah.
And he was the Cosmic Cowboy. Yeah. And he used to play like a lot of soul music and funk music in the day at that time of night. I'll tell you what, that was an exciting time. I mean, I was only about 11 at that time, never not 12 at that time. It was exciting times in the day, and we always used to make sure we got in bed and everything like that so we could listen to Benny Brown, the Cosmic Cowboy. Do you know what I mean? He used to play all those nice tunes at the day back, really nice tunes. You know what I mean? Like Michael Jackson, Heartbreak Hotel, and all them sort of tunes there. Do you know what I mean?
That was way before my time, anyway. I don't remember.
Yeah, no, but I can still remember. I can still remember when he's come on. He goes, "This is Benny Brown, the Cosmic Cowboy." You know what, isn't it? Thinking about it now, right? Thinking about it now, but it makes me choke up.
Yeah. It's hard.
Choke up because it's like,
remember Sundays as well, Unks, like Land of the Giants, Lost in Space.
Man, stop it now.
Star Trek, the original ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
it's sad, man.
It's sad because what it is now, I think, I hate to sound like a old fuddy duddy, you know what I mean, right? But I just find that kids have got it so easy now.
Yeah, they have.
Everything's at the drop of the hand, you know what I mean? They don't have conversations anymore. You walking down the street.
This is why, Uncle, have you ever thought to yourself, like, and that's the people in the chat as well. This is why probably the modern day kids is very hard to relate to. You know what I mean? When you're chatting with them, it's very strange kind of chat compared to what we grew up on. If you know what I mean? It's very strange. It's very strange. It's not the same vibe. It's not the same. When you connect in a chat, it's not the same anymore, man. It's very different.
When you was growing up and everything like, right, and you could probably attest to this, there wasn't many. I'm not saying it didn't happen, but there wasn't many kids at the day that had sort of like problems like ADHD and all those sort of things. There wasn't much kids that had that. But if you look at now, like literally every family that you look at now, right? There's ADHD involved. There's mental problems there, and this and that. There's so much problems. Do you know what I mean? And when I was growing up, all right, it may have been hidden.
They might have had it, but you never hear about it.
But it probably hidden from me. But I never saw a lot of kids at the day with these sort of problems. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Do you think like because those days was more adventurous, were more outgoing, was more doing things outside the house and enjoying life? Do you think this is why it was well hidden? Maybe it's that.
Well,
I don't know.
It was because you see what it is at the day, right? Because you wasn't sort of like privileged with the stuff that you got now. Yeah, you wasn't privileged of that. You had to make your own entertainment. Do you know what I mean? Like going outside and playing cricket, going outside and playing football. You know what I mean? All this sort of stuff, things like that. You know what I mean? You had literally make your own entertainment.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You know, and move yourself and stuff. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You have to, you know, in 6 weeks holiday and they like black families at the day in 6 weeks holiday, right? Never went on holiday.
No.
They never went on holiday in 6 weeks holiday.
No.
As much as you have you got now. So you have to make your own entertainment. You to amuse yourself and that, right? So
come on, man. I remember when I was growing up.
You have time to get depressed. You didn't have time to get depressed.
Yeah, the youth clubs. You used to go to Alton Towers, Margate, and you know Chesington.
Ramsgate,
£1, mate. That's all you had to pay back in the day, people, because the government used to pay for the kids back in the day. All you have to do is pay £1. You're in the coach. You go to Margate and all that stuff, and Chesington, and you know Alton Towers, you know Fort Park, all that stuff. We used to do that. I mean, nowadays it's impossible for these kids to do that because it's different world we live in. It's a bizarre world we live in. You know, I mean, a lot of kids are dying, a little kids are stabbing each other, and it's norm. Like, what is that all about? I don't understand. How can that be normal?
You never had that when you was growing up. Yes, you had died.
But you live to see another day. You know what I mean? Like, you get your revenge and fight again and win the next time. But nowadays, you don't see it the next day. It's madness.
Like the other day was on news at the day, like this kid about 14, 15 got stabbed in South London.
Yeah,
at a train station. You never had that. You never had that in the day, sort of like when you was growing up. You know what I mean? So I'll just say, to me at the day, it's a different time. I don't know what has changed.
Have you seen it nowadays as well, Uncle? Like everybody looks like a zombie. Everybody. I don't know if you guys seen it. Yeah, it's not just in this country. It's just around America and England. It's weird. Like.
Because you know what it is in there, right?
They're stuck on drugs now, and they look like zombies, man.
You know what it is?
You see them like zombies. It's weird.
Yeah, but another thing, what you got to understand at the day, right? A lot of these people at the day, right? A lot of these kids at the day, right? I've got their phones at the day, and listen, and they be walking down the road like this. Like we're looking where they're going, just in their phone. Do you know what I mean? You understand what I'm saying? You know. Silent, and they'll be in groups and they'll be groups. There'll be groups of 5 of them at the day, right? No conversation at the day. They're just on the phone, texting and doing this and doing that. It's mad. So no wonder these kids at the day, right? I've got are having sort of like mental health day, right? Yeah, because they're not communicating, and they. I haven't got kids and everything that, right? But if you know what I mean, if I have kids and if I did have kids, they're not going to have a phone till they're about 18 years old. I'm sorry. And even when they're even though they're at home and they've got a laptop and everything, and they're on the laptop on the thing, right? You're only going to be on there for 2 hours a day. You know what I mean? 2 hours a day.
What you see, the graphics and all that stuff you see on the websites nowadays, you have to avoid it, man.
The joke.
Even on Twitter nowadays, you see people's heads getting chopped off, people getting stabbed, and I don't know what this Elon Musk guy is doing, but he needs to stop shit like that.
He don't care.
I just go on it and I see all this shit, and I say, why am I seeing this? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's mad.
But he don't care. He literally doesn't care. And for that, if a person and they're not being funny at the day, right? If a person can do what he done at the day at Trump's inauguration, he can do that.
With the Hitler sign. Oh my God. And he said it's not a Hitler sign. Oh.
And he knows very well what he's doing. So these people don't really care, to be honest.
Yeah. Neil Ruddock was terrible. I know, man. I just can't believe it, man. His one claim to fame is when he scored that header against Man United in that 3-3 draw, as I remember. Neil Ruddock, what was Souness thinking? That's what we're all thinking. What about Picnic? Are you guys forgetting about Picnic when we had that 3 stripes? Remember? 3 Adidas straps on the side here. We bought that Danish player Picnic, you know what I mean? One of the replacements for the great defenders that we had in the past. We bought players like that, Ronnie Rosenthal, as I remember, you know what I mean? And I was just shocked about Dean Saunders, guys. Like, we bought Dean Saunders, scored a lot of goals, and then just disappeared the season after to Aston Villa. That was a weird one. He replaced Peter Bailey, you know what I mean? Strange, very strange, that one.
That's when they started sending players, didn't they?
Yeah, man. We was just all over the place, mate. Julian Dix was a ball. Yeah, Julian Dix was a hard man. Don't forget, guys. Yeah, he used to play for West Ham, and then he went back to West Ham. Yeah, it's weird one, that one. Like, he just didn't like. I think it's one season, as I remember. I don't think he passed one season. Julian Dix was poor. Ronnie Moran said that Dix was the worst trainer he had ever seen in all his time in football. Wow. If Ronnie Moran is saying that, I agree. You know what I mean? That guy, come on, man. He's been through it all with Liverpool Football Club as a player, as a physio, as a head coach, everything.
Yeah, he's done everything, didn't he?
He needs a statue outside Anfield, in my opinion, man. He deserves it as much as everybody else. He sold great players to Tunis and replaced them with very average. Oh my gosh, some of the players gave me nightmares, man. Gave me nightmares. Some of the players we got, man. I remember there was a Stewart. There was a striker from Tottenham we bought. Stewart. He was terrible as well. We bought. Who did we buy? Nigel Clough. We bought. He was all right. I mean, he came as a striker, but he ended up playing as a midfielder, like a number 7 type. Peter Beardsley type. Scored. I remember 2 goals against Man United in that game I was talking about earlier. Yeah. He bought some terrible players, man. Tunis. Goodness gracious me. Yeah, man. 100%. Awful, man. That's the link to Patrick. Please, people, donate whatever you can. That's all we're asking for, guys. So this is the link. The bottom one, the last one I put up. Sorry about that. What's this? Do you know this? Do you know anything about this? I don't know nothing about that.
Fraggle Rock, yeah. That was a program on. I think it was more 90s.
Is it? Okay.
Fraggle Rock, yeah. Fraggle was on, yeah.
I
remember that. I watched it. I think I watched it once or twice.
Big up, Mr. B. Big up, bro. Big up, bro. Hope all is well. I remember on the buses. Yeah. I love on the buses. That's a repeated thing now. There's even on
Rich Vardy.
Yeah, on the buses. Poof, I love it. I remember the movies as well. They had movies in there as well as obviously series. Carry On films. I'm a big fan of the Carry On films. Love Carry On films, man. I can't beat that, man. Challenge. Was this?
Annika, yeah.
Do you know that?
Well, yeah, that was on BBC One, I think. But I do remember that program.
This one?
Jesse Grant. No.
Giant. Joseph.
Joseph Giant. No, I don't. Sorry.
No, that one. Yeah. That's before my time, guys. And I mean, I feel young now. Thank you very much. But yeah, I'm more of later, from 80s all the way to now. But I don't watch that stuff now. But I'm saying from the 80s onwards, from 85, 86 onwards, that's all I know. Yeah. That's for Dara.
Rising Dab, that was quality. You
know what?
Do you watch that?
No.
Mr. Rigsby, boy, Mr. Rigsby. It was Rising Dab was heavy, man. The guy that used to play it was a guy called Leonard Rossiter.
Okay.
Leonard Rossiter, anyway.
He's
very accomplished. And then he's with Leonard Rossiter and Richard Beckendale. Yeah. Which his daughters and they act as well. You know Kate Beckinsale?
Yeah.
Right.
Is that prison Park? Was it Partridge or something? Her dad was in there, wasn't it? Was it Partridge?
Porridge.
Porridge. That's it. Yeah. Open all hours, hours. Ronnie, innit? Ronnie guy.
No. The guy. He was in. He was in Roland Park.
But I'm saying that Ronnie guy from Open All Hours. And he's in prison. Her dad was another guy. Yeah.
But he was also in Thing before. He was in Thing first. He was in Rising That first.
Come on, man. Desmond's guys. Come on. Who's gonna say Desmond's out here, man? Come on.
Rising That was heavy, man.
I didn't know there was shows before Desmond.
Atlantic Radio 252. Yes, man. Yeah, man. There was a station, boy.
Oh man.
Vienna, the cat. No, I don't remember that one. That must be
before my time, man.
I was at the boarding school listening to the radio. See, Dara, big up yourself, man. Dara, big up yourself. Dara knows what I'm talking about. He knows what I'm talking about, bro.
Yeah.
He knows what I'm talking about. Radio Luxembourg, man. That was a shizzle, I'm telling you.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Power of the Grace come.
He-Man. Of course, I remember that one.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Come on, Inspector Gadget and that stuff. Oh, man,
Got
that's
back.
my time, man.
Got back in there. Got back in there.
Come on, boys. Reliving the good times, innit? We're reliving the good times. Man.
You remember that one? Forward to the bottom of the sea.
Yeah.
I remember that one. You don't see kids kicking ball against the wall anymore.
Nah,
no, you don't. That's what I'm trying to say. You don't see that, bro.
Mate, I see more foxes in the football pitches nowadays than kids, man. I see more foxes in the football pitches than kids nowadays, man. That's how sad it is. It's sad, man. Really, really sad, man.
You're too busy on Snapchat and all them sort of thing there.
Come on, man. Come on. You need to go back to that. You need to go back to the old days. That's what we need to do. Make kids humble again and make them work hard for a living, innit, man? To learn about life in the future and all that stuff, man. That's what the kids need to do.
Do you want Blue Peter?
Of course, man. Come on, man. I love Blue Peter, man.
Yeah.
Got my badge. I got my badge.
See that,
What else? Blue Peter, yeah. Bring back a lot of stuff, bro. Bring back a lot of stuff.
Take trolleys.
Programs. ITV,
Yeah,
Disney and ITV back in the day. Bring that back.
You see that now? Man, I used to say we used to take trolleys from, was it? I can't remember. I can't pronounce that name there. Save and race them down the hill. Yeah.
Quick saves, yeah. Race.
Is it quick save?
Yeah, quick save.
Down
the hill. Yeah, man. Come on, man. We all used to steal those trolleys back in the day. It's madness, man.
Rebel Norm. Call a rebel, you know. Both Gate and Ramsgate have changed so much. Yeah, there has.
A lot of things have changed, bro. A lot of things have changed, man. I wish life was back like in the day, man.
Look at that.
I don't know if you used to have that. I remember in the back in the day when people used to have street parties. I don't know if it used to happen to your area.
Oh,
I'm from Isle of Dobbs, Canadian Wharf area, so they used to celebrate D-Day and all that stuff, and they used to just like have chairs and tables out in the streets back in the day, and have parties like get the flags out. Yeah, man. We used to do a lot of stuff back in the day when I was a kid. And Rob, bit late, innit? Bit late, and Rob.
He's coming in.
Why are you coming in here when we're leaving, mate? Why are you coming in late?
Yes, guys, how are we? Don't know, last 10 minutes or whatever. However long you going live for.
That's all right, bro. That's all right, man. How you been, bro?
Good, brother. International breaks come at the right time for the players and the team. We need this. The players are absolutely goosed. And me as well. Like it takes a lot for me to tap out, and for me to say that we're doing the 20th league title, we are, even though the girl sat next to me is a blue nose right here. Frozy, we've had phone calls and all that.
Yeah.
About the football and all that multiple times.
Yeah.
On the way to work and all that, but no one's catching us, man. Like,
drinking me Carabao energy drink.
Oh, she's trying to rub it in. She's got a Carabao energy drink. Carabao.
What's going on here?
We'll watch that cup final because I didn't drink that thing. Do you know what I mean?
I could hear double.
Right, I'm here now. I had to restart my laptop because I've frozen. Yes, I'm from my good friend. How you doing?
My brother, how are we?
I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah, listen, we're flying. The league's done. It's been disappointing in a way. Going out all the cups and all that. 2 in the space of 1 week. The FA Cup, the Plymouth Argyle one, the squad rotation. People say you should rotate your squad more and all that. But when we do rotate the squad, it gets beat by Plymouth Argyle, who are bottom of the championship and all that. Do you know what I mean? So. Yeah. But she's trying to give me grief over here. She's an Everton fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. I was born in 2000, so I've seen my team lift 17 trophies. You've seen 0.
They got a new stadium now. They think they're gonna win. Like stadium doesn't change anything. Trust me.
Tesco Express, innit? Big Tesco.
Yeah, man.
It's on the sea.
Jealous of what?
It's on the seafront.
It's on the seafront. It stinks. The docks stink.
Oh, piss off.
Yeah. But yeah, what I'm saying anyway.
Mr. B says I can't blame the medium. People got to stop Mandem. I think I meant to say. I think that's what people got to stop the violence in it. Yeah, you're spot on, Mr. B. Spot on, bro. It's just too much violence in the modern day, and people need to realize life is important. That's what people need to realize, mate. What's this one, Uncle Ross? Do you know this one?
What's that? Afghani, yeah. That's thing in it. That's the Death Deal's part in it. Yeah.
Oh, the old man, the West Ham
Yeah,
fan.
racist man
The Jewish
there.
fan, the Jewish guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Batu.
Yeah, I think that still comes on. I see it somewhere on TV nowadays. Yeah, guys, before we go, in regards to the season, are we all happy if we just win the Premier League this season? Like,
Yes,
considering
100%.
how the season was going, you know what I mean?
100%, Frozy.
Could have won more, but people are still upset about 2 trophies that we dropped.
Nah, man, listen, like the crown jewels is the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? That's all that we wanted. Tim myself down. She's watching me on her phone. Listen, the crown jewels is the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? That's all that we wanted, to lift it in front of the fans. That's what we wanted for so long, since 1995. We haven't seen that. The Champions League would have been nice as well. We would have favoured ourselves to do it. I did. I backed us to win it in Europe. The Carabao Cup final was a massive disappointment because we played like absolute shite in that final. Don't get me wrong, mate. We were shite in that final. But the players are goosed, man. They need this rest, and it's come at the right time. But it's not a disappointment. The league title is a massive achievement, and that's what we want, man. And we'll milk this celebration, and we will be there for the parade once it's mathematically done. I'm not sitting here saying it's done until it's mathematically done, but we have to do it, because if we don't do it, it's the biggest bottle job of all time.
What about you?
Yeah.
I mean, back into the pool as well.
You know what it is at the day.
Big up dinner, by the way. Big up dinner.
I'm disappointed, but at the end of the day, because I was looking for a good day out for the Champions League final. Do you know what I mean? I was looking for a good day out. But you know what? At the end of the day, right? All is not lost. All is not lost. No. We still should walk out with a Premier League title. Do you know what I mean? Match sort of like the Manx, and hopefully next season, and then we can, go above them still. But I'm there for the parade. Yeah, I'm there for that. You know what I mean? That should be a good day out as it is. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I'm up for it, man. But disappointed, but happy nonetheless that we can be walking out with something this season. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what Man United used to do. If they didn't win the Premiership, they made sure they walked out with something in a season. Exactly. Whether it be the Carabao Cup, whether it be the FA Cup, or if they was lucky, the Champions League. You know what I'm saying?
How do you feel about people saying this season that it's the shittest Premier League of all time? It's not our fault that other teams are shit this season. Do you know what I mean? It's like everyone else is shit, but we've been good. Yeah, that's fine. But it's their fault that they haven't been good. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's their fault. I mean, I've said it, and they sort of like Man City have misfired. You know what I mean? And they have misfired, but it's still down to them. I've saying that today that sort of like Arsenal's been a bottle job. Yeah, that's down to them. Chelsea as well. It's down to them. It's still however way that I spin it, however way they spin it, it's still down to them. It's their responsibility, right? And what we've done at the end of the day, and what we haven't been able to do in previous seasons, is that what we've done, we've capitalized on it. We've capitalized on their bad form.
Let me say something.
Do you know what I mean?
The common denominator is FSG.
Guys, can you hear me or can you not hear me?
Yeah, can you
hear?
Let me say something to you guys. How can this be the worst season when we see a team dominate the league for 4 seasons in a row?
No chance.
How can this? When you see Nottingham Forest,
nowhere near.
When you see
a medical. It's a medical
off the top. When you see the likes of Fulham still around them, and you see all those teams, Aston Villas, and all these teams from 10 onwards that could still get into the Champions League spot. How can that be a terrible season? You know what I mean?
All these Arsenal fans said last season.
The thing is, they talk about Man City not being in it and all this stuff, but I'd rather have it like that. They cheated their way to titles. They paid their way to titles. We haven't done that.
these Arsenal fans said last season the only reason we can't win the league is because of Pep Guardiola, because he's so dominant in England. Do you know what I mean? What's the excuse now? Only got to come in on his first season, won the league with what? Federico Chiesa is his only signing, and Mohamed Ashvili. Do you know what I mean? That we haven't even got yet. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
What's the excuse for the Arsenal fans this season? Oh, we've had injuries. You need to get on with it. Well, we had injuries last season at this stage.
What about the 9 years before that on the Klopp? I mean, we had injuries every season. The thing is,
last season at this stage.
What you need to understand, guys, these things, you haven't played anybody, injuries, all this stuff that's been happening recently is from Arsenal. You never heard Man City say that when they were challenging us. We never used to say things.
We got told to get on with it.
Yep, there you go.
This season with Arsenal, it's like, oh, injuries have fucked us over.
We haven't played anybody.
Why does it matter? Get on with it. Do you know what I mean? We got told to get on with it last season. And last season, by the way, last season, we were balling out with the kids. We were beating FA Cup teams week in, week out, Southampton and all that. We were still winning league games with the kids in the team. And we got told to get on with it. And when all the first team, senior players come back into the team, we dropped off. Do you know what I mean? Man United away, 2-2 at Old Trafford, the FA Cup, 4-3. Do you know what I mean? All them type of games, we fell off. Because the players were half fit. And we got told to get on with it. So there's no sympathy for all these teams being, shit this season. We've just been good. Give us credit. Do you know what I mean? And this is how the media is, man. Like, have you seen how the media have tried to spin every single season that we're on for the quadruple charge? Every single season. They're like, Liverpool is out with the quadruple charge. No one ever spoke about a quadruple. Do you know what I mean? No one ever spoke about it. We were never in that. You know what I mean? We would have took a cup and like top 4 or something. A trophy, at least. Do you know what I mean? And all I demand is a trophy, because that's all that matters in football. Trophies. What I don't like about the media, they expect us to do quadruples all the time. They put so much pressure.
Because they want to tire us out, innit? That's what they want. They want to tire us out. You know what I mean? Like in normal circumstances, if this was another team that's doing what we're doing, they would have said that's an incredible season. I guarantee you.
Of course they would.
Imagine it was Man United or Arsenal doing this right now. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just confused, guys. Like 4 seasons in a row, one team's won it. Like 4 seasons. That's a Farmers League kind of thing. And people are like, we ain't doing a great thing. It's weird. Absolutely weird.
Why are we always the team to do a quadruple every year?
Yeah.
Why are we always the team to do it? If you look at all these big accounts on Twitter, BR Sports and all that, TNT, the Lad Bible, why are we always the team to do a quadruple every year? Look at last season. Do you know what I mean? They're always counting down the days until we get knocked out of a single competition. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they love it.
It's like, Liverpool been knocked out this competition, the quadruple's over. No one ever spoke about a quadruple.
Nobody.
Do you know what I mean? Like, us as fans, like, Rods, Fozy, did we ever speak about a quadruple?
Nope.
None of us did.
Do you know what I mean?
None of us did.
Why did they do this? Do you know what I mean? Oh, shut up. Everton fan.
Why is Everton fan talking?
0 trophies since 2000. We've seen 17.
When was the last time we won a trophy? Was it 1995?
She's an Everton fan. Don't take no notice.
Yeah, was it 1995 they won the last trophy, innit?
I think so.
Wow.
Malcolm Ferguson was still playing, I think, at that time. Paul Ryder.
1995.
Paul Ryder and was it Paul Stewart and all these guys?
Wow, man.
1995.
Andy Hinchcliffe. You know what I mean?
Didn't lose the Entry Cup. When was the last time you was in the final?
It's alright. I'll just sit there.
Don't even go there. We're about to get the 20th league title.
Drink me
Caribou, can't even say it right.
Guys, I got to read it out because I got to go. Norm says, remember coming in from school, and Italian 90 was started on TV. Brilliant, yeah. Everybody remembers Italian 90.
These Everton fans have no chest. 17 trophies since 2000. 0 for you. And I will count you for Super Cups and all that. Do you know what I mean? That's without Community Shields. 17 trophies. You've had 0. When you equalised 2-2 in the 97th minute or whatever it was, you celebrated like that, like it was a win, and your fans invaded the pitch. Do you know what I mean? Mikalenko was like that on the floor. Yes, like that. You didn't even win the game. We went 7 points clear. We didn't even lose the game. Everton, man. Everton. They annoy me. I love it, but Everton.
I hate them, man. I never since they put those stickers in my car when I parked.
Just like the shit on the bottom of
your
your shoe, aren't they? Do you know what I mean? That you can't get off. Like that piece of snot in your nose that you can't get out.
Oh no! Don't kill her like that, bro. Don't kill her like that.
Rod, are you coming down for the parade?
Yes, mate. Yes, mate. I'm there, man.
I'm Posey. I can't wait to meet the pair of yous.
Oh yeah, I kind of disappointed that we didn't get to meet up last time I was down there.
Yeah, man.
For the little
We'll
game.
We'll
We
sort
will
it out
do, we
on a
will
regular,
do.
guys. Don't worry, we'll sort it out on a regular, innit? That's what we're gonna do, man.
I know Posey's about 6 foot tall, aren't you? And
Yeah.
You're a tall
I
guy.
mean, Uncle Ross looks small, didn't I?
I'm
You
5'8".
look like a midget,
Hey,
boy.
listen, I'm 5'8". How tall are you, Rods?
I'm
I'm
6 foot,
5'7".
just 6 foot on the dot.
5'7".
Oh, me and Rods. Let's go.
Well, sorry. He made me look like. Oh, I don't know. Do you remember that guy from the Love Boat?
Love bow.
And a little midget. Look, he's coming. I felt like that, man. Seriously, bro. Oh, no.
Guys, I can't wait till he's come down. I can't wait.
It's gonna be
It was a
brilliant.
good night.
Because listen, there's no threat to us. There's no threat. Are Arsenal going to catch us with no attackers? Let's be honest. It'll be the biggest bottle job in history.
Excuses FC, guys. Excuses FC, man.
I know.
But
it's not just them making excuses. It's the whole league. Oh, the league's been shit. Well, that's not our fault, is it?
I don't think the league has been shit. I think it's been the best league in a while. I honestly
Rosie,
think.
this is our big achievement. This is what we wanted.
They want to take credit away from us what we've done. We've lost one game all season. We've lost one game all season, and people are telling us it's a shit league. It must be.
Yeah, and that was in September against Forest at home.
If we played them again, we beat them. I mean, that's how confident I am. So I don't know what people are talking about. Norm says Everton Stadium is like a blow-up tent. It's going to sink.
Big Tesco, get your meal deals from there.
I just can't wait for the Man United Stadium as well. That looks like a weird one or two. I mean, that's what we're yeah. Big up, Jenna. Big up. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel.
That's it, Rosie. That's it.
Yeah? Oh no. Oh no.
How did she have the cheek to say this? 1995, you know, I wasn't even born.
Goodness me. I was cool.
I remember we got Everton on the second, you know.
I will smash them 1-0. Mo Salah penalty, 70th minute. Of course.
I just hope, you know what? I hope Decore comes to Anfield with that same energy that he had last time.
Oh, he
comes with that energy, bro.
We'll beat them 1-0. Salah penalty.
Uncle, that's for you, yeah. That message for you, Uncle Roz, yeah.
Your co-host is a gem. Fozzie. I gave him the utmost respect.
There you go.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, bro.
Big up, Dara, man. See you soon, brother. See you soon.
Hey, do you know that guy? Do you know that guy, right? Andre Nana. He used to play for Everton. Now he plays for Aston Villa. Yeah. Now, seriously, have you seen his missus?
No.
All right, say less then.
Say nothing. Say less. Okay.
Did you see the state of Idrissa Gueye and Imani Ass in the PSG stands the other night when we got knocked out the Champions League? Celebrating us getting knocked out. That's the closest they'll ever get to a trophy in the round of 16 at Anfield.
It's in it.
Everton since 1995.
Your missus is throwing smoke in the chat, you know. You'll be fucked when Salah is gone.
All this chest for no trophies since 1995.
The same thing about when Klopp was leaving. Now we're winning the Premier League. So keep coming with that. I mean,
big up Jenna. Big up. Yes, Jenna. Big up.
You celebrated a 95th minute equaliser like it was a win to watch us go 7 points clear. How does that make you feel?
I didn't celebrate anything.
How does that make
you feel? I bet you danced around the house, Jenna. Yeah, but
imagine us celebrating an equaliser against Everton in the 97 minutes to watch them go 7 points clear. Are we that shameless?
And they fouled Kanate as well.
Yeah. Did the chorus say there's a title charge going or something like that? There's a title chances going. I swear he said something like that when he's talking to Van.
No, he goes. The chorus goes. He told Van Dijk to F off. Your title's done.
That's what he said. Hey,
that's it. No, he did.
Did you see what Slot said to him after full time?
No.
if we lose the title, I'll effing blame it on you.
Mark Oliver, yeah, Mark Oliver. Yeah.
Did you
And
see
this
this?
is the thing that, like the whole refs conspiracy. Yeah, the refs are bad for everyone, but like, look at the Tottenham game last season when Luis Diaz scored an actual goal, and they didn't even check the lines for it. Didn't even check the lines. Do you know what I mean?
They still talk about it now.
Didn't even check the lines. Do you know what I mean?
It's funny, isn't it? Though, like,
actual
I
goal, bro.
don't know about you guys, Anthrope and Uncle Ross. Have you guys noticed the referee's decisions after the after the David Coote incident? Like, it's been all right. You know, apart from the Marco Oliver game, I can't remember
There's boys.
Yeah. I can't remember any many bad decisions since then.
Howard Webb's in charge. Look at his history. Says it all.
Yeah.
Says it all.
Yeah.
Well, you fans from Wales, what are you chatting? I've got £3 to spend on the ticket, that's why.
It's all funny, man. I'm telling you.
Listen, Colwyn Bay FC right there, do you know what I mean? Don't even chat to me.
Or Barry Island.
But to be honest, their stadium looks good, Everton Stadium. I've seen it.
It does, yeah. It's good stadium. I'll give that. Yeah.
Give them credit for that. Norm says they are trying to put pressure on us with the quad talk.
Exactly.
No one has ever done it. Yeah, listen, it is what it is.
No one even bid us get top four this year.
It's funny though. It's funny what you're saying, Afro. Like when Man City are doing it, they don't say it. When other teams doing it, they don't say it. It's just when Liverpool, like you said, when Liverpool is always in the competitions, we're always on for a quarter for some reason. At the start of the season, it's weird. Very strange.
Same as last season. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Two teams have won the treble. United, who pulled players out of the international and played kids in the League Cup, and City, who cheats to win it.
How do you support a team like that? Like, Man City always pay their way to things, and you're having to go us. Weird, very strange.
Yeah, but we're the ones that they want to have a go.
In a fair way, yeah, we're doing it in a fair way. We're showing people you can challenge teams like that. I mean, if it wasn't for Liverpool Football Club, would Arsenal be challenging Man City the last couple of seasons? No, we have help.
This whole Arsenal thing, like, we can't win the league because of Pep Guardiola and all that, because Man City are too good. Well, we just debunked that myth straight away because Slot's come in on his first season and he's romped it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not because the whole league's crap. Yeah, it is crap, but is that our fault? No, that's their fault because they can't win.
I strongly disagree. I don't think it's that crap. I mean, I think
it's not. It's not Fousey. I agree. The league's not quite good.
I mean, that's what it is. I mean, the league's been better than where it was before because
I agree with you.
In the table, and from the top 10 to the 4th position, they're very close on points. Guys.
Yeah, how tough was Bournemouth away a few weeks ago? How tough was that game? That was a horrible game, wasn't it? But we had to win that. Do you know what I mean? And we won that game. Salah scored twice that day, and that was a very tough game. Do you know what I mean? I did have my worries at times. When we drew to Aston Villa 2-2, we played like crap. Like I'm not going to sit here and go we've been amazing all season because we haven't. We've been playing in second gear a lot of the time. But when I realised that the league is ours is when Arsenal lost to West Ham at home. Because we've had a lot of PTSD as Liverpool fans with Man City chasing us and pipping the league every time by 1 point and all that. I should have knew better because Arsenal are not capable of doing that. Because Arteta's the manager.
They bought the jobs.
Yeah, they are 100%. Me and you had concerns. Rod, me and you had concerns as well. But like for me, it's a big lesson learned because Arsenal, they're not built for this. Like we've already won this. We've got Van Dijk, Trent, Alisson, Robbo. They've already won the league. Do you know what I mean? Salah. Arsenal. Who have they got with that experience?
Oh yeah, imagine this, right, guys? Imagine this, yeah. Oh God, I forgot the guy's name, but he's a Arsenal player. He was in the team and they Xhaka, Granit Xhaka. He was in the team and
he was the proper captain.
Yeah, right. Now he went for that title charge, didn't he? Yeah, right. Then the next season he goes to Leverkusen and wins the title.
I think I see Nottingham Forest more of a threat as the title than Arsenal. I do. And like the thing is, like Arsenal have no captain material. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Granit Xhaka was a captain, even though he was quite average as a player. Like, he was a captain material. Like Henderson for us. Like, I never rated Henderson. I thought he was very average, sideways and backwards all the time. But as a leader on the pitch, he kept the team together in tough games. Do you know what I mean? And, like, you know, when we struggled in certain games, like, his leadership prevailed every time. You know, in nowadays, like you know, Van Dijk, I rate Van Dijk a lot, but like as a captain, his leadership, I do question it sometimes because
Yeah.
in big games, we have folded quite a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You know, Arsenal away last season, 3-1.
You know what they say, like you lead by example, innit? Like you have to show as a leader, like
As
to the
Henderson,
rest
I
of the
rate him
players
so much as a
what to
captain.
do.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I
we
love
was
that.
fortunate.
I
We was
love that.
fortunate,
Like,
though.
As a player now.
We was very fortunate, right? Yeah. I'll tell you why. Because we had Henderson, which was a good leader. But we also had James Milner, that was a good leader as well. It was very fortunate that we had two good leaders at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That sort of like would literally shout or slap players at the end of the day when they weren't doing their job properly. You saw Milner slap Virgil van Dijk, didn't he? Slapped him in the face.
Yeah.
Basically, they say fix up. Do you know what I mean? We had that caliber of player, and I think when those caliber of players eventually do leave the team, your team loses something.
Yeah.
Something.
Hey, listen, we're not discrediting Van Dijk's, you know, captaincy, but it's a different kind of captaincy, isn't it? It's different. Like they don't let players have that complacency. That's what Uncle Roz and Anthrop is saying. The other captains, and that's what.
But for you said to me the other day on the phone, you know, like squad rotation options. You look at Origi against Barcelona. You know, Shaqiri put the cross into him, or Wijnaldum, sorry, to score the header against Barcelona. That is depth. That is depth. The depth is not Plymouth Argyle getting beat 1-0 in the FA Cup, where Darwin Núñez is missing sitters from 5 yards out. Do you know what I mean? Heading the ball over the bar, not passing the ball properly. Diogo Jota, once a great player, shite. Now, do you know what I mean? Like, let's be real. Like, a lot of these fans hold too much like emotional connections towards these players. So
I don't know why, man. I really don't know why.
Go on.
No, but I'm saying I don't know why people like, you know, players come and go, you know. If you look at the greatest teams in history of football, they don't really hold emotional, you know, the emotion side towards players because they know they come and go. But for some reason, our fan base, we're always holding on to players. Just let them, when it's time to go, it's time to go. You know what I mean? Success will continue because you're getting young players to take over for the next 5 to 6 years. So you got to keep it rolling. If you stay still, the success ain't gonna continue because those players age and they're not gonna give you the same performances on the pitch. Hence why you don't see like Salah running back anymore to help out the fullback. We keep blaming Trent for his defensive deficiencies, but you don't look at the side of, you know, the winger is not helping him. He's facing two
And
players.
this is the thing I worry about. If Salah ain't stepping up, who is? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
But
Because
then
if Salah ain't performing in the final, is Diaz going to step up? Is Núñez going to step up?
There you go. Yeah.
But then again, if you look at Trent, he was never a defender. He was never a defender. I think what it was with Henderson used to do a lot of his defensive work for him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And Canate does that for sense.
Yeah, and he kind of found out what kind of player Trent was at the end of the day, right? When sort of like, you know, the likes of like Henderson left. Do you know what I mean? So he's never that defender. But yeah, I do agree with you, and I do agree with you in what you're saying. Do you know what I mean? It's like the teams change. I think what we need to do, we need to start buying those leader types. You know, it's like
but listen, it's everybody plays a part in football, Uncle, and you know what I mean. And our fan base need to understand, like, if you want success, which is the most important thing in football, in my opinion, I want to win trophies. I don't care about players. I want to win trophies. Trophies is number one. Players after. That's what I think about. And this is what.
Do you think, Fuzz? Do you think, Fuzz? I understand what you're saying, and I do agree with it. But do you think at the end of the day that we need the right caliber of players? We need the right standard.
We do. This is why I get so annoyed with the owners, and this is why I attack them every single summer, because we are a great team at the minute, but they are holding us back from being an absolute force in Europe. Do you know what I mean? Like a couple of signings here and there, lads. Do you know what I mean? Left back, midfield, striker, just a couple of signings right there with ambitious owners. We would absolutely kick on right now.
Oh,
But all these FSD apologists online go, oh, but we've won the league this year. Why do you want more signings?
It's already
Because the
starting.
team's fucking gassed. Do you know what I mean?
Already. You know what it is, Anthrop and Gross. You know what people who people listen to? People that actually work for FSG. That's the problem.
I don't like them, man. I don't like them. They chat shit.
TV,
They don't believe what they're saying.
And this Anfield rap guys. I went to America, guys. I watched Liverpool in Philadelphia. I went to the Jamie Webster? I think that's his name.
Yeah.
I went to his show. I saw Liverpool executives at the top of the stand.
The Lion.
Guess who was sitting next to them with a badge and all that stuff? Redman TV, Anfield Rap, James Pearce, all these guys are with them. I mean, why are you sitting next to the executives? There must be a reason you're there. So you're working for them, innit? They were all sweating and everything, running up and down.
Yeah, because they're all lying to everyone. Do you know what I mean? They're lying. Like, listen, like they're sitting there saying, like, you know, we've got a good summer, we've got a war chest. You know, we're gonna have a big summer and all that. We never do have a big summer. Do you know what I mean? It's always underwhelming every single time. The Caicedo money, PR stunt, literally a literal PR stunt. Imagine we signed Caicedo that window. Do you know what I mean? We could have done everything that season. Do you know what I mean? That was the one missing piece that we needed that season. A midfielder, a number 6. Because Gavin Birch stepped up this season. And we never thought that he would either. Gavin Birch stepped up, and we've always needed a number 6, and we still do. Do you know what I mean? We still do need a number 6.
I've asked Uncle Rose about that question, adding to your answer over there. Why do we always avoid the number 6, mate? What's the reason for this? I don't understand.
There's no reason.
Is there a reason for this?
There's no reason.
I'm confused when I see that. We know what we need. We know we need a dominant number 6 in that role to get us to the next
striker,
level.
left back, number 6.
Yeah.
Number 6 was the first priority. Number 6, that's been a priority for 3 years. 3 fucking years, man. Even though we revamped the midfield 2 seasons ago. No, we never. We still needed a number 6. Do you know what I mean? Fabinho, you know, his legs are gone. You needed someone to replace him in the peak of his powers. Ederson from Atlanta, someone like him. Do you know what I mean? To take over. Yeah. What is wrong with a midfielder? A holding midfielder coming in that team? Really how many times does our fucking back four get exposed every game? Because there's not a midfielder there to protect him.
Do you guys remember, both of you? Do you remember when we went for Caicedo? When all of us were thinking we're going for him, yeah. Do you guys remember the meltdown around the social medias? Like how, like everybody was. Liverpool didn't want. The fan base of Man United, the fan base of Chelsea, the fan base of all the other teams had a meltdown. Uncle Ross, remember they didn't want Liverpool to sign a DM like that because they knew the next thing that would happen is dominance. I remember even the Chelsea fans phoning Todd Bowley to not let this happen. I remember that. I mean, like he comes. People don't know about Todd Bowley, guys. Yeah, he's on Twitter. Talking to Chelsea fans on a consistent basis. We have these things on Twitter, these spaces. He comes on there, guys. So they I think they conceded in the beginning, supposedly, and they went for that Tyler. Was it Tyler Morton who plays for Bournemouth, the American boy? They went for that instead of like going for Caicedo. And all of a sudden, the fan base had a meltdown. The Chelsea fans, everybody, and then they said, like, if Liverpool get Caicedo, it's the end of obviously the football. Liverpool's gonna win it all that stuff. And all of a sudden, they get the player. I mean, so that's how much we need a DM. Every other fan base knows if Liverpool get the right DM, we'll be dominating. But people can't see that. Our football club is something wrong with us. It's like we're opposed to get a DM. I don't know what it is, Unks.
That's what I'm saying. You see, what it is, or what I was gonna say, is that they will fix up 1 or 2 positions, yeah. But they won't fix up everything. You know what I mean? We're always going to be left short of like a position that needs to be sorted, whether it's like a defender, whether it's like a striker, whether it's like a midfielder, whether it's a winger, whatever it may be, we're always going to be left short. And this is what they do. And it's so annoying because like the whole world can see what we need. Yeah. You know what I mean? What we need at the day, right? To sort of like kick on and to do sort of like good things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, the thing is about it, I don't know why then they don't give us the right tools at the day, because more success for us means more money for them, innit?
But for some
You know what I
reason, they see it the other way, Unks. They see it the other way.
They literally look at another way. But my argument is that today, right? We're always faced with this every season and day, right? We're faced with the fact that today, right? It's either they won't do no signings, or that they'll do some signings at the day, but they'll never ever fix all the problems.
It's like they're opposing success. They don't want to have success.
They don't.
That's how it looks to me when I'm looking at it. You're spot on, 100%. Let me just read out the comments before we go. The last time Everton won a trophy, I had hair and zids on. Oh, I think me too, bro. I think me too. I was in school, so I was just. I got one more year to go of school, as I remember. You wasn't born, Jenna. You wasn't born. Trust me. If Anthrop wasn't born, you wasn't born.
Like why didn't? I just like why didn't Anthrop up?
That's going to be computer instead. Will sound better.
You do.
Yeah, she's winding you up, bro. She's winding you up. So.
You look like a big red M&M.
Your missus a joker, man. Because you joke.
She's an Everton fan. Listen. We've seen 17 trophies since 2000. You've seen 0. Do you know what I mean? The only thing you've seen since 2000 is a big Tesco Express on the Bromley Moor dock. You've got nothing on us. Do you know what I mean? You celebrated the 90th minute equaliser. Do you know what I mean? Like it was a winner. To watch us go 7 points clear.
How sad is it? The mighty have fallen, in it. One time, do you guys know? One time, Everton was
back in the 80s. Liverpool and Everton were the dominant force.
That's what I was just
yeah.
People forget that Everton was close to us with titles back in the 80s and all that. I mean, people forget that Liverpool and Everton dominated.
We had respect, man. We had respect.
Yeah, I don't know. They chose Man United over us for some reason.
Gary Lineker used to play for Fiend, didn't he?
We used to buy players from each other. Everything. You know what I mean?
Do you remember thing? Nick Barmby,
Peter Beardsley went down there. Yeah, man. Xavier.
What's that goalkeeper's name that played for us and played for them as well?
Had a goalkeeper?
The goalkeeper. It's recently.
Recently?
There's a goalkeeper that's played. Andy Lorigan. That's it. Andy Lorigan.
Oh, right, yeah.
He never played for us. He never actually played for us, by the way.
Never played for us. Arsenal closed to us.
Do you know when I tapped out? Do you know when I tapped out with FSG?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when I fully tapped out was when we won the Champions League in 2019, and what an amazing season that was because we finished on 97 points that season. Do you know what I mean? 1 point behind City on 98.
Yeah,
cheating bastards. Season after we won the league on 99 points. Klopp is a genius. But listen. FSG back Klopp with Sepp van den Berg and Adrian. And that squad depth soon caught up with us the season after. When we had all them injuries and COVID. Do you know what I mean? And we went out the Champions League because of Adrian being a fucking bozo. Do you know what I mean?
Scumbag.
Yeah. And this is why, no one can say to me, no one can ever say to me, FSG have ambition. They do not.
They don't, bro. Did you look back at that kick from Adrian? Did you see the left hand side how empty it was if he kicked it down the left hand side to Robertson's side? It was empty, bro. But he decided to kick it in the middle of the pitch. What is that all about? Where it's busy? Crazy, man. Absolutely crazy.
Listen, Robertson this season, I've called him out loads of times. I don't think he's good enough to start week in, week out anymore. He's a good squad player. Listen, he's amazing.
But he's still going to get those people though.
Did you see him and Simicast arguing the other night in the internationals?
No.
Him and Simicast are like that at each other. Simicast is like, why are you arguing to the referee? And he's like, because I'm the captain, like that. That's what he said to him. I was like, fucking hell, man.
Oh, did Greece play Scotland?
Yeah, but Milos Kerkez, that Hungarian left back, we need that guy. That is a proper left back right there.
It's true though. We're close to signing him.
He's young, future. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because I've
heard these owners are too fucking stingy, man. I can't stand them.
They're just being where they're from.
Holding us back every time, but they are, and people don't realise this. They don't realise it. They're so weird to open up to it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. They're sat there and they're like, "Oh, but we won the league. What's your excuse?" Well, the thing is, mate, we've won the league, yeah, because like everyone else hasn't performed this year. We've been amazing, yeah, that's fair enough. But like, if you want us to be a force for years to come, look at what City done over the last few years, signing players here and there every window, so they kick on, so they got backup players. Who do we have for backup? Because when we used our backup, we got knocked out by Plymouth Argyle, who were 24th in the Championship and lost 1-0, and then we didn't even like scoring all game.
Yeah, man. They don't even.
They're worse than Luton, you know.
Yeah.
They're worse than Luton, you know. You know that, don't you? They're worse than Luton.
But the thing is, they don't.
And we drew to Luton last year, 1-1. No, he got beat.
As an embarrassment. That's the funniest part of it.
We know he got beat by Luton last year. We know he got beat by them last year. And Diaz, was it Diaz that scored the last minute header?
I was at the
Who
game.
scored the last minute header against
I was at
Luton
that
last
game,
year?
you know. I'm literally at that game.
Luton Town and Sky Sports are like,
literally
oh my
at that
god, look at the state of Luton Stadium. Like it's a fucking bin dip and all that. Do you know what I mean? Like the away fans can see the fucking, you know. Do you know what I mean? It was a dive, and Sky Sports are making it out to be like some sort of fairy tale. And we drew 1-1 there. Diaz scored the last minute header, and it was like, oh my god, Jesus Christ. Do you know what I mean?
Sky Sports literally hate.
They're a disgrace, lads. Sky Sports are a disgrace.
They're pro Man United. They're pro Man United. They're pro Man United. That's why.
You don't just hate Liverpool. They're a disgrace.
Man United one time. Do you know that, Anthrop? Rupert Murdoch. Wanted to Man United one time.
Say that again.
Yeah, man. That's how it was, man. Back in the day, they're pro Man United. Sky Sports. That's what it is.
Know this. PGMOL. Who's in charge of PGMOL? Who's in charge?
Oh, of course, Howard Webb, innit?
And what's his history with the police?
He's a Yorkshire guy, isn't he?
And what time was he in charge with them? It says it all.
Well, he was a policeman, wasn't he? He was a policeman back in the day.
And that's for another time, innit? That's for another time.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. I get you saying that.
We know the score there.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. B says Arsenal need to worry about top 4 battle now. The second place trophy isn't guaranteed for them. You know what's funny about Arsenal, guys? Yeah, I remember when they were like complaining about Arsene Wenger always getting top 4, but they're back to being that again. Why aren't they complaining about Arsenal doing the same thing? I don't understand.
It's so funny.
You're back.
So funny.
You're back to being top 4 again.
Back to what you do. You're to what you're doing.
Not to be like it's weird. Very strange.
And you got people like Egal, and then they got people like Gel, and I've done a video on him yesterday.
Egal
and they saying it, and they sort of like, you know, that it's not about winning trophies; it's about the progress of the team.
Not though.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Slot has debunked that myth straight away in his first season. There's no processes. Like Slot has debunked that myth straight away. There's no processes. You either win or you don't. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, exactly. You know, Egal, I don't know what's happened to him. He used to be, everybody loved him, even Liverpool fans not so long ago. I don't know what happened along the way. He just became a waffler. When Lee Gunner is on you, you're in trouble. Let me just put it that way. You know what I mean?
We're going to us in June, by the way.
Yeah.
He's got good friends. He's got good friends.
He's our guy. He's a legend. Yeah.
No, he's actually a good guy. Now I've been on a few.
Keeps the standards high. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I've been on a few. I've actually been on 1 or 2 streams with him on there. Do you know what I mean?
Listen, mate, he's the same person as he is on camera in person. Really? Top fella. Do you know what I mean? Top fella.
Yeah, he's a genuine nice guy. And what I like about him,
let's fly out to Spain one day and meet him. He's a boss fella. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, he is. What I do like about him at the day is what Anthrop just said. He keeps the standards high.
Yeah, and you have to. With how football's going, do you know what I mean? You have to.
You don't drop the standards for anybody. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Another person I see like that as well that keeps the standards high. Yeah, is Northside. He keeps the standards high as well, and I like people like that. No matter if you like they support another club, but long as you keep your standards of your club high and everything that right, that's good for me.
Yeah, spot on, man. Jenna, that's Norm. That's Norm. Yeah.
Listen, lads, I'm gonna shoot anyway, but
no worries, man. Nice to see
Rosie, thank you for letting me on. Always big up the chat.
Always welcome.
Yeah, man. Big up the chat. You know, big up everyone that's tuned in tonight. Rods, yourself, man. You know, see you in May. Hopefully, book your hotels.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be down there, bro.
Yeah, man. If we bottled this, mate, biggest bottle job of all time.
I'm not
But
watching football no
fuck
more.
you,
No,
Jose.
no. That's it.
Yeah,
Liverpool's
man.
make me hold on to it. Nah, if we lose, I'm done. I'm done.
It takes a lot for us to tap out on it, but Posey, me and you agree that, like, you know, it's done. It's done. But yeah,
But big up,
guys,
brother.
take it easy. I love yous. You
Take
know,
care.
we'll do some shows soon. Peace out.
Definitely, man. Love and
See you,
respect,
Jenna, as
bro.
well. Thanks for coming on. Take care, bro.
Up the beds, FSG out. Thank you for letting me on.
Always.
Take care, bro.
Peace.
Yeah. Norm. Yeah, this is Norm's wife's account. Jenna. That's yeah. Sand guy from Liverpool. Watches Liverpool all the time as well. Very nice guy. Yeah, man. Get some compliments there, you guys. If you want to go to Uncle Rod's channel and Anthrop's channel is in the link down below. You can see that there. Just press on it and you get there straight away. No problem. Yeah, Red Shit TV, Anfield crap. Think they speak for us fans? They don't. You're spot on, bro. They don't speak for me. I mean,
and do you know what it is? So quick, yeah. They actually do think they speak for us. You know,
they do.
That's the frightening thing about it, isn't it? So frightening.
Yeah, it is true, 100%. Mr. B says that Slot doesn't play a number 6, but I get we need a controlling midfielder, someone who can keep a ball and how do you say that? I don't know how to say that. I'm gonna play a bit more. Okay, if you mean like control the ball better and pass the ball out of midfield towards the forwards, I agree with you. I agree with you. 100%. To me, yeah.
Dedicated.
Yeah. To me, it's all about
no. Fuzzy, so Crosby is and dictate.
Dictate. That's what I meant. Sorry, my bad. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I know what you mean. To me, like it's all about progressing and winning the ball back. That's what I want to see in our midfield. Someone who's more of that kind of ilk, if you know what I mean, and have the fear factor at the same time. Because I don't think in our midfield we have enough of that. I don't think people come to play Liverpool nowadays with that fear, and that's what.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that, mate. I want people that to be fearing us. You know what I'm saying? You look at Rodri at Man City. People don't like to play against him. That's why they miss him. If you know what I mean. So it is what it is. Oh, sorry about that. Dictate. Yeah. Sorry. What else is there? Top 4 is a successful American owners. Yeah, because I told Uncle Ross before. The most important thing for ownership is getting into the top 4. And nothing more, nothing less, really. You know what I mean? And that's the only time they buy players, when we're at the top 4. That's how I remember when I look at Liverpool. We don't really buy players when we're in the top 4. You don't see them buying, players that we need the most, like we just spoke about number 6 and a proper striker that can put the ball in the back of the net. They don't do that. You know what I mean? There you go.
They proved it this season, didn't they? They proved it this season, and they look who's we got in the top 4, and then they're obviously in the Champions League and that. Who did they buy?
Yeah, spot on, man. Spot on, 100%. Yeah, Unks, where can people find you, mate?
Yes, man. Listen, it's been good jumping on. Let's spare in a minute, man. It's been good. I've enjoyed this. I always enjoy coming in your show, and talking and stuff, and like big you up, man. Big up. What I mean? And next season. Well, next year. I'll say next year, and they when Ramadan comes along, you'll be doing Ramadan next year.
Yes,
100%. You know that, innit? I mean, I'm getting myself up for next year. Do you know what I mean? You know what I mean? But like, listen, another respect. You can find me at Anfield Uncle Rods on YouTube, Anfield Uncle Rods on Instagram, Anfield Uncle Rods on Twitter. I'll do a lot of like reaction shows now, and debate shows as well. So come along, get involved in the chat. You know what I mean? Hit like and subscribe, and support. All about support. And we just do what we love doing. You know what I mean? Talk about football.
100%, Unks. I think they say over here, process faces another Americanism that is running football. It's the truth. It's the truth, Mr. B. There's no doubt about that, bro. The more they get into our game, the more we're heading towards that direction, which I fear in the future as well. We're gonna be probably trading players. We're not gonna buy players anymore. You know what I mean? They're gonna go down the cheap route. You know what I mean? That saves them a lot of money and makes them a lot of money. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a scary times ahead, man. I hope everybody sees it. You know what I mean? For where it is. Big up, Jenna. Big up. Look after our Anthrop, man. I mean, I know he's a Liverpool fan and you're Everton fan, but look after him, please. All the best. Yes, of course. Let's see what Mr. Norm says. I felt the core at Palace may have done well for us in DM, but he has been injured past 12 months, so may not be the same player now. Yeah, spot on.
Yeah, true. That is
the thing is, Norm, there's always someone out there, bro. You know what I mean? There's always someone out there that we don't know about that can actually do the job. I mean, sometimes Liverpool surprise us with players and they come good. I mean, so that's what I'm looking forward to if there's anything that's coming through. All right, people, that's us done. Like, share, and subscribe. If you want to see these two men that were here right next to me today, their description, their links is down below here. You can see it. Please go and subscribe to them and support them in the chat when when they come on live. Always hit that notification bell, by the way, people. Always hit that notification bell. It helps you get alerted each time they come on YouTube. And that's how it is. I mean, the support is needed for us, of course, in these channels, and your help gets us to the next level. Obviously, Uncle Rod's is, I think, on the road to 5,000. I'm on the road to 3,000. Anthrop is on the road to 1,000. So let's get to the next level and get some more people in here that that enjoy our chat. We're not gonna force you to come over here. Just enjoy what we say to each other. I mean, we don't have to always agree. We can agree to disagree. It's no problem here, guys. Big up, no man. Big up, brother. Big up, Mr. B as well. Big up, legends. Till the next show. You never walk alone. Big up, Mr. B.
Love and respect, man.
All right, guys. It's time to go. All right, guys. I'm doing it like, what's his name? Who's that guy? What's his name? Oh, fuck. I forgot his name. That Liverpool fan. Oh man,
gosh.
Oh, what's his name? Let me get it. I know it. Is it Callum? What's his name again? Uncle Rod's. He's an old Liverpool fan. He always does it. All right, guys. That's it. And Cop Talk TV. That's it.
Yeah.
He always does it. All right, guys. I love it. I'm a big fan of his, man. Big Duncan. That's it, Duncan. Big fan. He cracks me up, man. Proper funny.
Scottish brother, isn't it?
I don't know if he's Scottish, but he's a big Liverpool fan from back in the day. I mean, the Candy days. I used to see his shirt.
Right, Candy days.
Yeah, man. And he's one of the oldest Liverpool YouTubers, probably the oldest Liverpool YouTuber before Redmond TV and all that stuff. So he's been on YouTube for a long, long time, and he always shares my stuff. Lovely guy, man. He says he likes what I do. You know what I mean? Honest Liverpool, long time Liverpool fan, and he always shares my stuff, man. But I love it. Every time I see him. All right, guys.
Is it Duncan Oldham?
That's it. Big up, Norm. Big up, brother. Big up. All right, man. Yeah, carry on. You want to say something before we go?
No, I'm just laughing at you know what I mean? This Duncan guy, you know what I mean? Because that's exactly how he sounds. Exactly how he sounds.
He kills me, man. Every morning I tune into his stuff in it because I just want to hear what he says in it because he knows a lot about Liverpool.
Hi guys, how you doing? And he goes when he goes coffee, he goes coffee.
And he's always having to go at his dog, innit? He's always
shut the fuck up. He goes to his dog. Yeah, but he's always written out quotes, isn't he? He's always written out quotes. Certain quotes and debunking them, you know what I mean, and stuff.
He's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
He's in Spain, you know?
Yeah, he doesn't live in England, man. Lovely guy, man. Absolutely. Just like yourself, like Norm, like Dara, like everybody that comes on the channel. Mr. B. Yeah, man. All right, guys. We haven't promoted this today, but thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you soon. Links down below for the two guys. Yeah, links down below. Take care, everybody.
Love and respect. Good night. Love and respect.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it. I had to come back for that one. I need to see it. It said, what do you say? One second, bro. Sorry about that. I don't know what my screen is. Bit small. It's very strange. There you go. Did you see Frank live this morning? He lost it with a woman playing in Legends game. I haven't seen it, bro. I haven't seen it, but I'm gonna check it out. Take care, everybody. Take care. Appreciate you all as always. Take care.